Morning, everyone. Y'all already know who it is, what it is. It's your boy Big Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to say happy Monday to all you beautiful people. Guys, welcome to Jasmine for Texas. This is episode number 7. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Big Ghost Rider in here, man. Man, today, basically, you guys already know what it is. We're going to be talking about the Texas race, down there in the great state of Texas. You guys know this is the biggest race in the midterms. Good morning, Montan. Good morning. Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing this morning? Good morning, Donnie. How are you doing? You guys know this, Jasmine for Texas, episode number 7. We're going to be talking about that Texas Senate race. You guys already know what it is. It's the biggest race of the midterms. You know what I'm saying? You guys think, wow, the midterms so important because if the Democrats get power, that's the balance of government. The Democrats will be able to rein in some of the actions that President Trump does even before he gets to do them. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, very important. These elections are. President Trump is very tuned into them too, as we know. You guys know he called Governor Abbott about the gerrymandering or the redistricting, you know what I'm saying, in the state of Texas. You guys know he called what if the Republicans was with it? So he was trying to federalize the elections. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats talked about doing it too, but I'm just saying President Trump is very, very tuned in to these elections that's coming up in November. So that being said, the elections in November, guys, primaries, elections in the state of Texas for the primaries, Democratic and Republican, early voting starts tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, February 17th in the state of Texas. Listen, if you want Jasmine to win, or if you want Talarico to win, if you want Ken Paxton to win, if you want, what's the other guy to win? I'm not even sure what his name is. Whichever candidate you want to win, I'm saying that it's important that you guys go support them in the primary. You know what I'm saying? So that's tomorrow, guys. The primary, the early voting in the state of Texas begins tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, make sure you guys go vote. Look, if you guys are not in Texas and y'all's elections aren't in Texas, or you don't have to do any voting in Texas, then I say, man, just, whenever you guys' primary is, like, tap in, whatever your candidate, whatever your party, whatever your issues are, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you tap in. Definitely, 10,000%. You know what I'm saying? And in Texas, the time to do it is tomorrow, actually. So if you guys sound like the video, go ahead and double tap the screen. Somebody say I vote in every state 2 times. That is not legal, definitely. But I want to ask you, though, who is that? Is that Positive Tro? Positive Tro, I want to ask you, what is your inspiration for voting? Or should I say, look, let me ask this question to y'all. Do you guys think that money buys elections? What get politicians elected? Donnie, can I say if I'm Elon Musk and I'm going to come in and I'm going to drop $250 million, is that what's going to get you elected? What gets politicians elected? Does money get politicians elected? That's the question. What if I'm Jasmine Crockett and I only raised like $3 million, $4 million total since this year started? Say I raised $2 million since the year started. And I'm running against James Talarico, and he raised $10 million. He raised 5 times more money than me in less than 2 months. What do I do? Because he raised more money than me, Donnie, is he going to win the election, Positive Tro? What wins elections? That's the question. Donnie says, what did the Dems rein in during 2018, 2020? They made a fool of themselves. Well, Donnie, that's pretty much to be debated. Our government is set up a representative democracy, and we're supposed to have a balance of power. So, guys, if you guys don't know, before we get started, we got 3 branches of government. You have the executive branch, President Trump. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be a what would I say, enforcer of the law. He's the chief law enforcer in the United States. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? He's the last one to sign the bill to make it a law. Then you have Congress. You have two chambers in Congress. You have the House of Representatives and you have the Senate. The Senate is what we're talking about today. That's what Jasmine Crockett's running for. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to actually write the laws. You know what I'm saying? They also control the money. And then you have the courts. That's the third branch of government. What I'm saying is Republicans are dominating all three branches. That's why you'll see a Renee Good or Ellis Peretti get shot and there's no big investigation like with George Floyd, There's no big, President Trump could just think about how frightening that is, Donnie. And I think that's a main thing for these elections to why the Democrats might do good. You're talking about reining it in. I'm saying just accountability. Donnie, if you right and that officer had the right to shoot Renee Good, don't you think Renee Good's family at least deserves an investigation of that officer? That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying when you don't have Democrats that's controlling the House of Representatives at least, and definitely not the Senate, then, you know, you could just shoo and foo that whole situation with no investigation. So I'm saying, like, if there's no public outcry, if we don't use our voice, then American citizen could get executed and the police ain't even investigated. I'm saying, y'all, what y'all think is going to happen to the cops that shot Ellis Peretti in the back when he didn't have a gun on him, regardless of what side of the law or the issue you on? What I'm trying to say is that if it was balanced, you at least have investigations. But we're not talking about ICE or those situations this morning. Guys, this morning we are talking about that Texas Senate race in the state of Texas. I heard a podcaster say that money wins elections. So, Donnie, guys, that's why I posed that question to you like that. What wins elections for politicians? Because it's facts. I wasn't just hypothetically speaking that James Talarico has outspent and outraised Jasmine Crockett by a substantial margin in this primary. You see what I'm saying? James Talarico has raised $20 million. He spent about, I think, 10 million, 13 million or so, roughly, so far in his campaign. And that's a substantial amount, more than Jasmine. Jasmine has a social media commercial talking about how there's a movement or there's a group of people or there's an active effort, Donnie, to try to defund her or stop her from getting money. It's unbelievable. So I'm saying, what wins an election? If James Talarico could raise more money than Jasmine Crockett, say if his voters or if his donors, if they're all getting individual donors, because if you get $20 million, this is a primary. And I know he started, Donnie, 90 days before her. He was in this race 3 months before her. He had a big head start. He built this whole infrastructure before she even knew what she was going to do. So I'm saying, even though he started before her, we're not making no excuses. I'm saying that my thought process is this is a primary. This isn't a general election. This is a primary. And he raised $20 million. And you telling me he got $20 million from all that from individual donors. 20 million, Donnie? I doubt that. But I'm not making no excuse. He's raised more money than Jasmine, but I'm saying, is that money going to win an election? Guys, this is an AI overview. Can money win an election? I could tell y'all about VP Harris. She raised more money than any political candidate ever in the history of politics. Listen to me. In 107 days, Kamala Harris was so attractive to donors. That's astounding. That's why she's probably going to run for president again, because she raised more money than any other political candidate in the history of presidential politics. But she lost. AI overview, that's my source, in the 2005 NYC mayoral election, over 35.8 million was spent by outside groups during the primary. $35.8 million spending money on somebody to win. Listen, if I give you $1 million, Donnie, and you running for Senate, you know, if I give you that million, and when I meet you and shake your hand and everything before I give you that donation, there's going to be reasons. And I'm not giving you that million for nothing. I'm not giving you that million because I feel I could just donate like the regular people, give you $100. You see what I'm saying? You talking about big dollar donors, man? These people got strings attached to that money. That's what's called special interest. That's why Bernie Sanders and AOC always preaching against super PACs. And James Talarico saying he not taking no money for super PACs, but some kind of way, how something, he got $20 million that fast. So I'm saying these are super PACs. This what we against, tax the rich corporations. That's what Ghost is against. You taking money from special interests. That means when you get elected, you're going to be doing what they told you to do. The country being governed by 1,000 people. And meanwhile, you got 340 million people in the country, and what we want done, our voice, our vote, ain't never done completely because you got to do what they told you to do. They gave you the money. So that's why we're against all this. But we are for each individual voter, individual contributions and donations. Let Ghost give Jasmine $20. Let the Texas voters give her $15, $10. $50, $100. You see what I'm saying? That's what we for. But hey, that's not what's going on. Let's stay to the point. You know, chasing no rabbits here this morning, this early. Over 35.8 million was spent by outside groups during the primary, with super PACs heavily favoring candidates like Andrew Cuomo against Zoran Mondani. Major spending, including $28.3 million from the Fix the City PAC, focused on attack ads and supporting candidates. Individual contributors total over $42 million, primarily from donors to participate in campaigns. These are all people spending money against Zoran Mondani. $42 million. I'm talking about dumping money on the city. Zoran Mondani led in fundraising with over $1 million raised in the period with an average of $121. $1 million. Zoran, I'm talking about amongst individual, those individual donors, that's what's telling me what's going on in that campaign. If you guys don't know, that's what I'm telling you. That person like Ghost, that's going to donate that $20 to that campaign, what that's telling me is more than likely that person's going to vote for that candidate. There's a lot of people depending on your voters, probably in the black community, who will vote for a candidate who ain't donate to that candidate. But I'm saying more than likely, if someone's donating to that candidate, they're going to vote for him. They're not going to donate and not vote, more than likely. So I'm saying Zoran, he had over $1 million raised in one period with an average donation of $121. Those are individual people like me and you who are donating to him. Regular people, over $1 million of them. It's a pretty good bit of money. You can look at that money and those donations and you could judge and see. So my question, though, before we get too far off the topic, y'all got to let Ghost litigate his case because Jasmine for Texas, episode number 7, we getting into it. The question is, I heard a podcaster say that money wins elections. So are we supposed to be scared of the person with more money? Because Zoran was outspent over 20-1 in that election. People coming in, dropping millions against him. I'm talking about, Jasmine, you talking about the ads that's running against you, saying that you can't win. I'm saying they were saying that Zoran was like a terrorist, Hamas. He hated. I'm talking about they were on him hard. He was a Hamas lover, Israel hater. And y'all know how hard it is to win an election in certain areas in America if you're not pro-Israel, really all across America. Yeah, they was on Zoran like that, and it didn't matter because the people, it's about the people. He built a people-powered campaign with those donations. So you can't fake those donations. My question is today, I'm still on it. What wins elections? What wins elections? Is money winning elections, y'all? Or is it the voters? I want to know. Is it the voters and the money? You know what I'm saying? What wins elections? Is what I'm looking for. There's a recent election in New Jersey. Because I'm saying we could say to this point that James Talarico, to this point, has outraised Jasmine Crockett in money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, is that enough to win an election? That's why I told you about Mandami. That's why I told you about VP Harris. And I want to tell you about a couple of other candidates, guys. I'll tell y'all about Tyler Remott. Y'all remember Tyler Remott? He's the candidate in the state of Texas, run for that state Senate seat and that Republican district. 32-point swing. What was it? Like a 30-point swing? Yeah. Tyler Remott. He was outspent 3-1. There's a candidate that just ran a race in New Jersey. Y'all know her name. Is her name Majai or something? M-E-J-I or something like that? She was outspent 10-1. 10-1. Just won in New Jersey, a Democrat. Guys, also I want to let y'all know the source is AI. Super PAC spending. Let's get back to this Texas race. We finna get to it. We finna get to cooking. The question is because Talarico raised more money than Jasmine, does he have an advantage? I told y'all about major races and major candidates who were outraised and they still won. Let's look at what's going on in Texas. The main proponent. So we talking about in the Republican primary in the state of Texas, Jasmine and them opponents, okay? His super PAC has spent around $17 million. This is Ken Paxton and Wesley Hunt's opponent. The sitting senator, super PAC has spent around $17 million. This is a primary in the state of Texas, with other affiliated groups bringing the total of outside spending to over $29 million. Guys, that's not what Senator Cronin is spending. That's what the outside groups are spending. $29 million. That's sound like about like what Talarico, because if Talarico raised $20 million, if he spent $13 million, his super PAC, we hadn't got those numbers yet, but his super PAC stepped in and they run an ads against Jasmine. So you know his super PAC gonna spend some millions. So before it's all said and done, Talarico gonna probably spend about $30 million on the primary. What? They dropping bread like that? A primary in Texas. Cronin, his super PAC so far, y'all know it's starting to heat up. They're starting to spend more. This is a hard race to the election, March the 3rd. Early voting start tomorrow. So that means you could start getting your voters to vote for you in Texas in them primaries tomorrow. Yes, you need to start doing it. Guys, you say so if Cronin, if his people then spent, and his super PACs then spent $29 million. And Ghost, we looked at the poll, that University of Houston poll said that Ken Paxton is beating him by what? 7-8 points? And Cronin spent $29 million. So that must mean if money win elections, that Ken Paxton has spent about $40 million. If he win about 7 or 8 points, and Cronin spent $29 million. Y'all know how much Ken Paxton spent on ads. Somebody drop that down in the stream for me real quick. Donnie, make a guess. Y'all take a guess. What y'all think Ken Paxton spent on ads? We talking about to the $29 million, y'all, spent by outside groups, super PACs, in favor of the sitting Texas senator right now who's in trouble, losing by 8 points in the poll. How much y'all think Ken Paxton spent? He spent $375,000. And he winning by 8 points in the latest 7 points in the University of Houston poll. So I'm saying that for all y'all people who think that money buys elections and it's not the voters, then what's going on with that Republican primary? If Cronin Or Conan spends so much more than Ken Paxton. I'm talking about millions more. Like 30 times more than Ken Paxton. Why is he still losing? And almost every single poll that you look at, he's still losing. So just because y'all hear that James Talarico raised more money than Jasmine Crockett, that don't mean nothing. Money don't buy elections. Voters do. Guys, listen, say you on the TV, Donnie, and you sitting at home and you watching the TV commercials. And I'm saying before, a lot of people now, so a lot of people, they kind of know politics, especially if you have a senator who like Cronin, who's been sitting there for how many years? Over 10 years. And he's been in Texas, state in politics in Texas for a while, and he getting kind of old. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying the city like Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, the citizens of Texas, they already got their views of Greg Abbott or the senator or Jasmine Crockett. You know what I'm saying? She a real famous congressperson. They already got their views of him. So what I'm saying is when you have a politician like that, well, man, Dami, what was unique about him is he was being outspent, but he was being outspent by a politician, Como, who the people of New York already had their views about. It don't matter how much money you spend on a candidate. What I'm trying to say, if they already have an impression of the person that's either spending the money or you spending the money against. Y'all, that makes sense? Look, so Greg Abbott is running an election. And it looks like Gina Hernosa or whatever. I'm sorry, mispronounce her name. It looks like she's going to win the Democratic primary. What I'm saying, it don't matter how much Greg Abbott spends. He probably going to have more money to spend than her. And it don't matter if she did have more money to spend than him, like VP Harris had more to spend than President Trump. The reason President Trump won, people already know President Trump. They got their impression of him. And either they're going to give him a second chance or not. It don't matter how much money you spend on the election when you have a candidate that's already known to the voters. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you're saying, can money buy election? Give that young lady in the state of Texas who's running for governor against Greg Abbott, give her $1 billion and say Greg Abbott spends $200 million. Y'all think that'll have an outcome in the election? I'm trying to tell you it won't. That's why I told you about the Mandami election. That's why I told you about President Trump's election. And that's why I'm telling you Ken Paxton is still leading against John Cronin in every single poll. And he's been outspent 30-1. And every poll besides that Emerson poll, Jasmine Crockett is still leading against James Talarico. And she probably been outspent 30-1. It's like she is the opposite of what John Cronin is. She has favorability. Her favorability is good enough within the state of Texas for her to be leading against a popular young candidate, promising candidate like Talarico. And John Cronin, on the other hand, Paxton's, even though he's got everything he's got on him as like a crook criminal, whatever you want to call him, his favorability with the voters, that's all that matters, with the Republican voters, is better than the senators. So it don't matter how much money that you spend against Paxton, the voters in their mind, they already got their mind. They know Ken Paxton. It's like your homeboy. It's my homeboy right here. And you trying to come up and tell me that my homeboy ain't no good. You could spend $10 trillion on TV ads telling me that my friend is not a good friend. For the people in District 30, they feel like Jasmine Crockett is their friend. For Democrats all over the state of Texas, they feel like Jasmine Crockett is their friend. For Democrats all over these United States, they feel like Jasmine Crockett is their friend. She was VP Harris co-chair. She's like one of the top Democratic surrogates in America, y'all. She on flying jets. doing events, paid events in California, in Chicago, in New York City, all over America, while she's a congresswoman. And it's for as much short time as she's been in Congress. So I'm saying Talarico is a force to be reckoned with because he said he got over 500,000 individual donations, 500,000 individual donations. So if you the Crockett campaign, you need to be saying or understanding or focusing on the fact that James Talarico, he probably more than likely, you know what I'm saying? He probably going to get easily over 500,000 votes in this primary because those people are probably going to go vote for him. That's what I'm saying. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, guys. So does money buy elections? Does it matter if James Talarico raised more money than Jasmine? Does it matter? Guys, most likely, I'll say that James Talarico will raise at least $25 million. Jasmine shouldn't be afraid of that because the voters know her. I say he would spend a upward of $20 million on this primary. He gonna outspend her probably 10-1. But he'll still lose to a better known candidate. He's got to spend the money because they don't know him. Listen, if people didn't like Jasmine Crockett, I think the same thing would be going on with James Talarico if people didn't like Jasmine, what y'all see going on with Paxton, I mean, if you compare Paxton with Talarico, Paxton's way cleaner than Talarico. Tell me where I'm wrong. Y'all, I'm going to break it down for you. I got the whole argument for you right now. If you look at a University of Houston poll, and you look at that Texas Southern poll, and every other poll I've seen besides that Emerson poll, even in the Emerson poll, amongst Democratic voters, Jasmine Crockett got a big lead over James Talarico. Every poll I've seen. From the time she got in December 15th to the latest poll that just came out in February. Even in the poll where she was losing by 9 points, in the only poll I've seen she was down in this entire primary season, even in that poll amongst Democrats, she has a huge lead over James Talarico, and there's no amount of money that you could spend to change that. His only chance or his best chance of winning is he's got to get a lot of young new voters to the poll. I don't know how many Republicans he's going to get to come show up to vote for him in the primary. Maybe they just being funny for trying to vote against Jasmine. I don't know how many he's able to accomplish to do that. But I'm saying he's got to get a lot of independents, a lot of new voters, a lot of progressives, a lot of young white kids, just to be frank with you. I look at his rallies, I see who's there. It's mostly young whites and a few Hispanics sprinkled in here and there. He needs a lot of them to go to the polls because he's losing tremendously amongst the Democratic base with her. Does that make sense? The money you spend don't matter. It's about the voters. And John Conan, on the other hand, the sitting U.S. Senator from the state of Texas, the reason why he is losing is because it don't matter how much you spend against Ken Paxton. They already know Ken Paxton. They know Ken Paxton. Look, Texas voted for President Trump. President Trump won by 14 points. They know he a convict or a crook, whatever y'all look at him or say he is. So Ken Paxton, they say he a convict and crook. Yeah, Texas know Ken Paxton, and they know John Conan. So it don't matter how much money you spend on Ken Paxton. It's like those kind of commercials, they gonna skip them. I'm trying to tell you, you watching that TV commercial, Ken Paxton, that's my homeboy. I already know I'm already going to vote for him. So you just dropped $200,000, $500,000 in this market on these commercials. I'm saying campaigning is a tough business, man. It's a real tough business. But I asked y'all this morning, man, do y'all think money can buy elections, guys? What we're doing right now, we're going to move over to tracking the numbers. Now, on Jasmine for Texas, y'all know we got a strategy session. And we're going to do the strategy session after this, tracking the numbers. This is the first time we ever did tracking the numbers. Now, guys, if y'all know about, if y'all follow the Jasmine for Texas, the series, y'all understand that, you know, I fancy myself as a political strategist, a Miller Legal LLC. That's my legal documents company. You know what I'm saying? Want to appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals. So, you know, I am offering a little advice or strategy. You know what I'm saying? This is some real, like, I wouldn't say complex, but I use my political science education, you know what I'm saying, to be able to come to these numbers, which basically means, if y'all know ghosts, I put a little effort into this. Okay. So I looked at how many people voted in every single statewide election, and particularly how many people who voted in the midterms, okay, in the Democratic primaries previously. And then I took in the account, that James Talarico is spending probably a record amount of money in this campaign, okay? And Jasmine Crockett, she's a extraordinarily popular candidate for the Democrats. So that would lead me to think that probably, especially as you go get more registration, more Democrats, you know, this is a year that President Trump and Democrats are fired up. So I'm thinking in this primary, you're going to get slightly more voters than you have in the other Democratic primaries. Okay. That being said, I'm predicting between 1.4 million and 2.1 million people will vote in the Democratic primary, okay? That's important for you to know how many people out of those 18.7 million or so registered voters, how many are actually voting in this primary, okay? Jasmine against James Talarico. We're doing tracking the numbers. That's what I'm calling this before we get into the strategy session, okay? So I will estimate on the high end, probably around 2 million people are going to vote in her primary, okay? So by my estimate, she needs a minimum, this is a minimum, of 700,000 to 800,000 voters to win. She'll probably need slightly over 1 million voters to win, slightly over 1 million. That's my precise numbers. But I don't want to tell you the amount of voters that she needs to win, because that number, it'll fluctuate. We don't know what that number is. So the way I do my strategy, when I'm saying tracking the numbers, I'm going to give you that bottom line number. So everything, so you guys will understand, because when I'm writing and posting this in 60 seconds on Instagram or in a YouTube story, you know what I'm saying, or I'm doing a post or whatever, I can't fully explain this. So when I say a minimum, that means that she needs at least 700,000 to 800,000 voters. If she's getting under 700,000 voters, I think for surety she won't win. So I'm saying that's important, because you got to know, like, well, it would be for me if I'm doing a social media ad, say I'm doing a Facebook ad, I'm targeting certain people and certain voters in certain areas and certain districts that I want to vote for me. I'm not just putting bland ads out there or hoping that ghostwriter or somebody scroll and see me on Instagram. No, I'm targeting certain people and certain voters in certain areas in certain situations. So that's key. So you got to understand, like, the voting starts tomorrow. So all that stuff that happened previous to tomorrow is irrelevant. The voters start voting tomorrow. And this young guy is super charged up, and he's trying to get those people to the polls. They spending millions. They're not spending their millions for nothing now. They're spending millions of dollars, and I promise you that he's going to have a ground game to try to get those young people who donated to him to the polls. And he said it's over 500,000 of them. So if I'm Jasmine's campaign, I know that I want at least 700,000 to 800,000 souls at the polls. So that means with my team, anything I'm telling you in the strategy session, that's why I did tracking the numbers first. Anything I'm telling you in the strategy session, I'm saying that I know it's for them 800,000 voters. I need at least 800,000, at least, minimum. So if I was her, I would target about 1.2 million, 1.3 million. That's what I would target. That's what I would hope for. That's what I would pray for. I'm saying I'm not shooting for 800,000 voters. I'm shooting for those all. If I told y'all about 1.4 million to 2.1 million people gonna vote, go shooting for 2.1 million of them. Be clear. You see what I'm saying? I'm targeting all of the Democratic voters that I think that's showing up in the primary. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that you're not gonna win if you don't get 800,000. That's your minimum. All right. Now, number two, tracking the numbers. My second prediction. So that was a prediction I gave y'all. I'm gonna stand on that. All right. Between 1.4 million and 2.1 million gonna vote in the 2026 Democratic primary. Okay. That's my prediction, all right? And the winner is going to have over 700,000 to 800,000 votes. I think it's going to be about a million to 1.2 million the winner will have, but I know it'll be over 708,000 votes. My prediction number two is that due to the James Talarico's coalition, in which he is claiming that he has 500,000 individual donations, and due to him being outspending Jasmine, 10-1 or better, I am predicting that Jasmine will need 70% or better of the black vote statewide to win. So I'm saying that she's going to need at least 70% of all the 2.1 million or the 1.4 million, however many Democratic voters that go vote, she's going to need 70% or better of the black vote to win. However, due to the large concentration of black voters in Dallas, you guys know that that's the district she represents, is the 30th in Dallas, that old district before Texas redrew the lines. And due to the large concentration of black voters who live in Houston, that's the city she lives in, I'm thinking she probably could get about 75 to 80% of the black voters in Houston and Dallas. So I would shoot for about 75 to 80% of the registered black voters. I'm talking about the voters, not 75 to 80%, 75 to 80% of the vote. Like, I think that she could win that. You know what I'm saying? Black voters in this primary, okay? Who's voting in Houston and Dallas. Number three, in tracking the numbers, this is why Jasmine is leading and has a great chance to win, even though she is being spent by James Talarico. According to the American Community Survey, that's my source, there are 1.198 million African American residents in the Houston, Sugarland, Woodlands metro area. That's a lot of black people, over a million, okay? In the metro, Houston metro. Now, according to the same source, American Community Survey, roughly 33% or over 300,000, and I've talked about those 300,000 black voters in that Houston area. Over 300,000 black voters reside in the Houston metro area alone. Now, guys, we're doing strategy. I told you you need at least 800,000 voters. So if I was her, I live in Houston. She lives in Houston. Okay. And guys, 4 hours, 5 hours away is Dallas. That's where her district is. She lives in Houston, has so she got a name in both communities. That is Texas, Houston, and Dallas. I'm saying, come on, man. So what I'm trying to say is it's 300,000 black voters alone. Good morning, Titan Brew. Who else down there? Tage, good morning. Good morning. It's over 300,000 black voters alone in the Houston metro area. Remember, 800,000 is her bottom. If you get 80% of that 300,000 black voters, that's 25% of the voters that she needs to win. It's over 300 million Hispanic voters that reside in the same area. It is important that she, at the very least, court those voters so she doesn't get a huge turnout for Talarico while she's showing up her base. Now, what I mean by that is she's focusing on these black voters now in that Houston area. Over 300,000 registered black voters in that Houston area. I mean, the argument is that she could turn out the black vote, right? Better than any other candidate. Well, baby girl, you got 300,000 plus of them in the city that you live in. If you could get 80% of them, I'm saying that's about a quarter or so of what you need to win. That's over 250,000 votes. But in the meantime, there's 3 million people in Hispanics in that area as well. So you don't want too many of them going to vote for Talarico. So we can't forget about them. You got to court them too. Guys, number 4 on tracking the numbers, according to data.capital.texas.gov. I say it one more time. If y'all want to go check my sources, my boy Donnie, data.capital.texas.gov. There are over 1.3 million African American residents in the counties surrounding the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So in Dallas-Fort Worth, guys, in the metro in Dallas-Fort Worth, there's over 200,000 registered black voters at Dallas-Fort Worth. So if you just look at Dallas-Fort Worth, the metro, and you look at Houston, the metro, there's over 500,000 black voters, over 500,000 black voters. There's over 500,000 black voters and registered black voters in the Dallas and in the Fort Worth and metro and Houston metro combined. Y'all check my numbers. Anybody check my numbers. I'm on point this morning. I'm being very accurate because it matters. Early voting starts tomorrow, guys. You know what I'm saying? This information matters, and I'm gonna go back and play it if we got to play it. And I know if anybody from Jasmine team, if they use it, I know it's gonna help you. You need at least 800,000 voters. You got 500,000 of them in the district that you represent in the city that you live. What I'm saying wrong? It's what I'm saying wrong. You need 800,000 voters. You got 500,000 of them, 500,000. That's black. And you saying that you could charge up the black vote. That's why she got a better chance. Well, you got 500,000 black voters in the Houston metro area and the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area combined. You need 800,000 voters. I'm saying that's like half of them right there. If your numbers is right and you could charge them up, that's half of them. According to data.capital.texas.gov, District 18, that's the district that Jasmine represents right now. Y'all give me just a second, man. Y'all give me just a second. District 18, that's the district that Jasmine represents right now. It has over 766,000 residents, in which 43% of them is black. So in her district, nearly half the people in her district is black, fertile ground. District 30, Jasmine's old district. District 18, I'm sorry, that's the district she live in or around that area in Houston. District 30 is her current district. It has about the same 766,000 residents, 44% black, about 50% black. So Houston and Dallas alone, there are over 500,000 registered black voters. If Jasmine is running 75 to 80% or better, with the black voters in Dallas and Houston, that's over 400,000 votes, meaning she's halfway to the goal of her 800,000 minimum votes by turning out the black vote in Dallas and Houston alone. You say, Ghost, how can she turn out the black vote? Guys, there are 3.7 million registered black voters in the state of Texas. The game's in your hand, Jasmine. I'm saying, you think Talarico, he got 500,000 individual donations. Let's just say that. So let's say he got 500,000 people who going to show up and vote for him. How many other people that's not in the Democratic Party do you think vote for him? Less than Jasmine, according to the polls. I'm saying most of his people, his donors, most of them they're definitely not in the Democratic Party because he's losing amongst. And then people that undecided, they're not even donate. They're not going to donate to either side. They're undecided. Some of them probably going to donate to both sides. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking mostly, but they're undecided. Those 500,000 people donate to him. Most of them people they in his camp. They on his team. They Talarico. She can't win. They them kind of people. That's what I'm saying. So I'm estimating he looking at about 750,000 to 800,000 votes himself, according to him and his campaign where he's at. So what I'm saying, if she's looking at the same 800,000 voters, at least she need, I'm saying she got 3.7 million black registered voters in the state of Texas. The winner is not getting over 1.3 million votes. 1.4 million max. I don't see that. I see the winner getting between 1.1 million and 1.25 million votes. That's what I see. Closely contested election, more than likely. Someone gonna win by less than 3 or 4 points, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, if you got 3.7 million black voters, that's why Jasmine has been focusing on the base. Does that make sense? I'm saying, if all you need and all you're gonna need at the most to win is 1.3 million votes, you got 3.7 million black voters. So if you could get them to show up, she got all the numbers that she need within the black voters in the state of Texas. I really believe that. 3.7 million registered black voters. On top of that, in that University of Houston poll, she winning amongst Hispanics. On top of that, in the University of Houston poll, she winning amongst women. He got a bunch of young people. Y'all got to focus on it now. He got a bunch of young people, a bunch of progressive, a bunch of people who probably wouldn't vote in that Democratic poll. He got a little movement going. So you got to be aware of that. But 1.3 million voters, she win. I'm saying she could charge up. She charging up the black voters. I agree with her strategy. There's a wealth of black voters in the state of Texas. 3.7 million black voters in Texas. I'm saying, y'all don't think the black voters in the city of Houston, they gonna show up for Jasmine? Y'all don't think they gonna show up for her? Y'all don't think she represent her district in Dallas? Y'all don't think them voters they gonna show up for her? That's why she winning in the polls. Tell me what I'm saying wrong. If a third, listen to me, this is how I see it. If Jasmine's getting 70% of the black votes statewide, she needs about a third of them to show up. She don't need half of them to vote. If you get half the black voters in the state to vote in this election, it's a wrap. I could almost guarantee you, if 50% of the black voters, registered voters in the state of Texas, if they show up and vote in this primary, I could almost 1,000% guarantee you that Jasmine's going to win. I'm saying that James Talarico, he wants probably 25% or less of them to vote in the primary. If about a third of them show up and vote in this primary, she's got a really, really, really good chance of winning. You know what I'm saying? And guys, that is tracking the numbers. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, baby. Jasmine for Texas. This is episode number 7, baby. Y'all feel that? We got a strategy session going on, man. Look, guys, y'all know on the Jasmine for Texas, we always do those strategy sessions, baby. And I'm trying to tell you that when this race, I'm giving y'all predictions. I'm giving y'all solid numbers. So I could care less what anyone thinks. I'm telling y'all right now before it happens. I'm telling y'all how many people is going to vote, how many people the winner needs to vote. I gave y'all two solid predictions. 1.4 million to 1.2 million people. 1.4 million to 2.1 million people are voting in the Texas Democratic primary. So you can laugh all you want to, but I'm saying I'm gonna play that back for you when those numbers are right. You feel that? That's just like picking a football game. And the second prediction I told you is that you need at least 700 to 800,000 votes to win. And I'm saying I'm gonna play that back to you like picking a football game. That's important because that tells you it narrows down the number of people and who you target and trying to win. It's 500,000 black voters in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro and the Houston metro registered black voters. It's 3.7 registered black voters in the state of Texas. Fact check me. I'm on point. My number's straight today, y'all. It's on point, man. You know what I'm saying? Tracking the numbers, I had to be on point, man, because that really, if you understand, that lays out her whole strategy. All that pretty stuff, all the rest of that stuff should be dead. What matters right now is getting them voters to the polls. That's all that matters, is getting your supporters to go vote. That's what matters. Jasmine should be targeting a minimum of 800,000 voters to win this election. Minimum. With 3.7 million black voters and an ultra famous black candidate running, I think it's fair to say that at least a third or about 1.2 million black voters will show up on March the 3rd. If they show up, she could win this primary majority black voters alone. Strategy session number 1, she should work on turning out her base as she has been doing, as she doing right now. That's what she doing. She's canvassing, she door knocking, and if I were her, I would heavily target District 18 and District 30. She need to run them numbers up. That's where she live, and that's what district she represent. And they both about 50% black. They 40-something% black. She need to run them numbers up in District 18 and 30. If she focus on Houston and Dallas and secure the vote of 30% of the black voters, in my opinion, should be just fine. So that's where my main focus would be. Churches, number 2, churches and black-owned businesses. Black churches, black-owned businesses, hair salons, barbershops, any kind of people where you have a congregation of black people, organization, community, working, black-owned businesses, churches, beauty shops. I know she's busy in Congress, but it's imperative on the weekend, that's this weekend, that she does those 17 stop weekends. Guys, if y'all don't know Jasmine Crockett, she did a weekend where she did 17 stops in 6 different cities in 2 days. Yes, she in Congress the whole week, Monday through Friday. So this weekend, she need them 17 stop weekends in which she needs to hit every black church, business, beauty salon that she can this upcoming weekend, baby. Early voting starts tomorrow, Tuesday. So I'm saying when she goes and hits all those black-owned places in the Houston, Dallas area primarily, that's what I would do to her this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when we do Jasmine for Texas episode 8 next weekend, that's when I would start voting on, I would start focusing on those outside counties, you know what I'm saying? Not only around Houston, Dallas, but I'm talking about the outside areas, South Texas, down in Brownsville, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll see what I'm saying, but I focus on a more of a statewide, you know, showing up with the base statewide. I would focus on that the following weekend. But knowing that this Monday and Friday she's got important hearings and things to do in Congress, that she's not going to be out there campaigning. You know, I don't know. She's probably got her campaign and stuff, door knocking. So they're still out there. I'm talking about Jasmine in particular. But I'm saying, Jasmine, baby, I know you're going to be tired, baby girl. But on this weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, I'm talking about Houston and Dallas. Not Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, baby. Houston and Dallas. Every church, every beauty salon, every barbershop, every black-owned business, restaurant, black restaurants, pop in. Get out there. Let them see your face. Jasmine, I know about them 17 stop weekends. We need one this weekend. Early voting starts on Tuesday, tomorrow. And her campaign should be focused primarily on getting those 800,000 plus voters to the poll. Number 3 on the strategy session, take off from D.C. starting on the 23rd until election day. Jasmine, I know you are focused on your job, baby girl. I know you are. Doing a great job in the Senate. Doing a great job in the Congress. I'm going to be saying that soon, doing a great job in the Senate. You working hard, baby girl, in the House of Representatives, and Texas is very proud of you. But start next Monday, if I was running her campaign, I don't care what's going on in D.C. After the 23rd until Election Day, she would spend all 7 days talking to those voters. So if she has votes to do after the 23rd, if she has anything she got to do in D.C., y'all, I don't care what committee she on, I don't care about nothing going on in D.C. for Jasmine Crockett after February 23rd. Because that's her last, so February 23rd is next Monday. So February 24th is next Tuesday. The election is in a week. She got 8 days. She need all 8 of them days after February 23rd. Listen, you could say that her constituents in her district, like they gonna hold something against her. I don't think they gonna care. Because I'm saying you can't, if Talarico, I'm saying you want to be confident that you're gonna win. Confident. He work in the state Senate. They don't work like they do. I think in the state Senate, they might work 90 days a year. So he's got a lot, you know what I'm saying? He got a lot of time. I'm saying she working and she's on committees. We seeing her on TV going against A.G. Bondi. So Monday through Friday, she's got to work. She can't be out there talking and seeing the voters. She's only doing it on Saturday and Sunday. That might be another reason why she's not raising a lot as much money, because the voters want to see her. But you got to understand, that's just her struggle. She really tired. She working 7 days a week, baby girl. And I understand that. And she got to work twice as hard this weekend to catch up for Monday through Friday when the voters weren't seeing her. I understand that. What I'm saying is, number 3, strategy session. You could laugh if you want to. I could care less. Because I'm saying I'm going to go back. Y'all know Ghost. I'm going to go back and play the tape for you. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to just play the tape for you. I'll play the tape for you. Starting from Jasmine for Texas, number 1, episode number 1. I got it in my head laid out to catch, so I'm telling you what it takes to win. Talarico basically was doing what I said it took to win. What I said on Jasmine for Texas, episode number 1 through 6, I think. Y'all go back and listen to them. Go back and watch them. That's why I do them now. Basically, he did it. The volunteers and the people power camp, all of that. Before I ever tuned in to anything he was doing, I didn't even know who he was at that time. So I'm saying, man, start next Monday. I think that number 3 is important. From the 23rd to the 3rd, she don't need to be in D.C. You trying to win a primary against a guy who, I guess she got internal polling who says she up by 13 points. I wouldn't trust that. I'm talking about it's all or nothing. I would do everything I had to do to win. Okay, I got some really, really important stuff going on in D.C. Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday, yeah, she got to. But I'm saying, starting on Saturday Sunday, and then the 23rd all the way to the 3rd, I will have Jasmine on the campaign trail, period. I know she got a job to do in Congress. She's doing her job. She does it good, but she's trying to win an election, and taking off for a week is not turning her back on her constituents. It's actually helping her constituents. She's trying to win an election. Number 4, step up Spanish ad buys. I seen Jasmine's new campaign ads. I seen the one she has on legacy media. The ones she had, a couple of the ones she has on the internet, on IG, the social media one. You know what I'm saying? It was talking about how people were trying to freeze her out when it comes to campaign donations. Okay? With Talarico raising over 20 million and spending over 13 million, right? Jasmine is nowhere close to those numbers, and that's fine. But I would dump at least $300,000 into campaign ads targeting those voters you need to get to the polls, and another $200,000 on Spanish-speaking ads for legacy media and social media. It is important that she engages with the Spanish-speaking voters, if they think she is ignoring them. That could cost her the primary. Guys, I would definitely tell her to spend money on Spanish-speaking ads. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I would imagine. So she started her ad buy on legacy media. She started her ad buy on social media. I imagine she's targeting, those 800,000 to 1.3 million voters that she's trying to get to come vote for. You know what I'm saying? In District 18, District 30, you know what I'm saying? Across the entire state, really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in her campaign, so I don't know how they doing that. But what I'm saying is, I would imagine she's going to step up her ad buys as you sprint to March the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get people to the polls. So what I'm saying is that I would definitely spend at least $500,000 on campaign ads to March the 3rd, at least $500,000. I'll start dumping. I would strategically dump. You know what I'm saying? And out that $500,000, I would say she spent at least a good couple $100,000 on Spanish speaking ads. Almost every ad that I ran, an English speaking ad, I would run a Spanish speaking ad if I was in Texas. That's how I would do it if I was doing her campaign. I think it's very, very important that she doesn't forget those Spanish speakers and she continues to engage with them. You know what I'm saying? Because Talarico, he's dependent on Spanish and white people. He's dependent on progressives and younger voters. I already see his coalition. I see what he's trying to do. That's the kind of campaign Jasmine needs to run for the general. You see what I'm saying? But right now she needs to shore up her base and get all those black voters who aren't voting for no one, no Democrats. That's why the Democrats keep losing, with more registered voters than the Republicans. And it's primarily black voters who aren't going to vote. So it's important that she's engaging those voters. She's doing what's right in this primary. You might say that's a gamble to get low propensity voters, but hey, if Talarico don't get those black votes, then Ken Paxton gonna be the next senator. More than likely, Ken Paxton. Whatever Republican, if Talarico can't get, if the Democrats in Texas, you got 8 million more, you got what? 8 million, we'll look up the exact numbers. They got 8 million voters, the Republicans, so you got 1.5 million more voters than them. But they're not voting. You got so many voters that's not voting. Texas got a lot of vote. They call it voter suppression. I don't want to get into that, but I'm saying you got more Democrats than them, but you got your voters ain't voting. Oh, we got more football players than you, but your football players aren't showing up to play on the field. Only half your team or less is showing up to play. That's what I'm saying. So it's important that somebody get those black voters to go vote. Because I don't think Talarico could win if he don't get them to go vote. And I'm saying Jasmine is a black female. She got the best chance at getting them to vote. I'm saying this ain't identity politics. What you want to say? You want to get the black voters, they got to vote. You feel that? She's got to engage with them. And don't forget the Spanish speaker. Number 5 on strategy session, voter-driven passion. I think it is imperative in these last 7 days or so, 17 days or so, excuse me, that she talks about helping the voters. You know what I'm saying? Look, I understand you driving up the base. You want to get the base mad. You want to get people mad. Say, hey, you know, they trying to do Jasmine wrong. You know what I'm saying? They trying to freeze her out. They don't want to give Jasmine no money. They don't want to let Jasmine get no money. I understand you want to do commercials and stuff like that, but also what I would be doing, because look, how I look at it is the reason why Jasmine does so good in the polls, especially with Democratic voters, because she's a fighter. And people know she's a fighter. So what I would do is I would start introducing policy ideas, just the idea. Because, you know, even if she is able to get the law wrote and get it passed through Congress, say Democrats take over the Senate and the Congress, and say she authored this bill and she get it passed and put on President Trump's desk. And even if it don't get passed, at least she got it. She wrote the bill and got it past the House and the Senate. So I would tell them, as the senator from Texas, I'm going to work on a bill that will provide a $25,000 tax credit for Texans for first-time homeowners. Tell me what's wrong with that policy idea. As the senator for Texas, I'm fighting for you. I'm going to work on a bill, Donnie, Tage, Titan Brew, NTZ Claus, as the senator from the state of Texas, I'm going to work on a bill. If I get elected senator, that will give Texans, of course, all Americans, but Texans primarily, I'm trying to reach Texas voters right now, a $25,000 tax credit for first-time homeowners. Imagine if you running a commercial like that on social media, telling people you finna work on. When I get to the Senate, this is what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm gonna work on authoring a bill that's gonna give you a $25,000 tax credit for buying a house. I would tell her policy ideas. That's what I'm saying. Voter-driven passion. I understand that you're motivating black voters to go out and vote. So you had the Colin Allred and the James Talarico, a mediocre black man comment. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff big in Texas. You guys just ain't from Texas. Y'all don't understand that. In Texas politics, you know? So you had that comment. Then you have the campaigns. Look, the super PAC that's helping Talarico, you, like I said, when I first started the stream, you are running ads against a candidate that Texans already know. They already know Jasmine Crockett. That's why she leading amongst Democrats by 8 points. You see what I'm saying? So you running a campaign you running a campaign ad that's really helping her. You doing what she needs you to do, because she wants you to get the black voters mad because you got this white boy from Round Rock. I'm going to just be real. That's what I do. You got this white boy from Round Rock and y'all saying she can't win. Why? Because she a black woman, huh? Yep, we know that. So the Talarico, they super PAC, they already helping to do what Jasmine's trying to. You need those. You trying to motivate some lazy black people to go vote. And I know that might sound a little mean, that might sound a little harsh, but that's just real. That's what's going on in Texas. The Democrats, y'all got the numbers. So I got my football team. I got 50 players. Y'all only got 25 players. What you trying to do, Ghost? Yeah, we got more players than you, but we only got 20 players showing up. So we got 50 players, but only 20 of them show up for game day. So y'all keep beating us in the game day, even though there's more registered Democrats in Texas than there are registered Republicans. There's over 1 million more registered Democrats in Texas than there are Republicans. Y'all get that? So who's not voting? Well, there's some Hispanics not voting. There's some Republicans not voting, of course. But there's some Hispanics not voting. But there's a lot more black voters that's not voting. So I understand you want to charge up those base and those black voters. I'm not saying nothing against what she's done to this point. Her getting on IG and saying on the airport with her little pretty glasses on, coming back from DC, flying to Texas, saying that, James Talarico and them running ads against me, trying to defund me and keep me from getting money. Like, yeah, that's all helping black people. Like, why they doing that to her? You see what I'm saying? That's helping charge up those voters, those lazy people. We gonna go protect this black female, so y'all go vote, lazy. You see what I'm saying? That's charging them up. But I'm saying while I'm charging them up, I want to give them you give them voter-driven passion. You got them angry, but you want to show them how you're more competent than that guy. I want to give y'all some policies. Here's some of my policies. Listen, Donnie said the other day you give them hope. Yeah, that's what Barack Obama did. He gave America hope. He gave America a pretty good GDP as well. He gave America a pretty good stock market as well, too, while he was giving them hope. While President Obama was giving me hope, I got my education while he was president. So he was helping people get educations, too. He helping, like, I got health care while he was president, while he was giving hope. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, you saying that as a senator, I will author a bill that will give you a $25,000 tax break if you're a first-time homeowner. Yeah, you giving them hope. But I'm saying as I'm a senator, I'm going to try to author that bill and get it passed, too. That would be huge for Jasmine if she did that. Her trying to run for president of her future political career. Her getting reelected as a senator who sits there for 6 years. 6 years, she'll be 50 years old. That's her first term. I'm saying she could retire from that spot. That a senator from Texas, bro, that's huge. Ted Cruz finna be the senior senator. So I'm saying she the junior senator from Texas. She a 44-year-old black girl, used to be a public defender. Come on, bro. Come on. Went from Congress, you was the state to the federal to now you a senator, first black senator from Texas. As fast as Texas economy growing, that's huge. Her sky's the limit for her. So one Democrat's gonna end up picking her up and she gonna be a Secretary of State or Vice President like VP Harris, Senator from California, a lawyer. It's the same thing. End up running for president. So I'm saying, Jazz, they talk about her saying, I heard Stephen A. Smith say that's what he said. Like, look, she spent a lot of time going at President Trump. The base loves that. She's from, I told y'all, her district is 43. District 18 was like, I'm sorry, that's Houston. District 30 in Dallas, I'm telling you, her district was like, 40-some% black. Half black almost. So she come from a black district primarily that they don't like President Trump. So her going at President Trump, I'm saying that's why she loved in the Democratic Party. That's why she doing so much better than James Talarico amongst Democrats, even Hispanic Democrats. Because they want somebody going that president. How you a Democrat? And see, it's only the Republicans liking Talarico for real. Because ain't nobody no Democrat. They like how Jasmine go at President Trump. Talarico ain't going to go at President Trump like that. He ain't going to go at A.G. Bonnie like that. They know that. Democrats know that. People not stupid. So they want to fight her like that. The race stuff or us talking about the race, I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm trying to win. That's all I'm trying to win. I want the girl to win. The race stuff or us talking about the race is us trying to get those lazy black voters that if you had just a few more vote, Beto lost by 3 points. They didn't show up at all for Culinary. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying James Talarico, will they show up for James Talarico? I don't think they will. That's why the Republicans keep winning. Because those black voters won't go vote in Texas. It's more Democrats than there are Republicans. You put the Hispanics and you put the blacks and the Asians together, they outnumber the whites in Texas. They outnumber the Republicans in Texas, but the black people ain't vote. So Jasmine, the best thing to get them to vote. Best chance you have to get them to vote. Because if she don't win, if they don't go vote for her, why would they vote for James Talarico? Make that make sense. If they don't vote for a black girl that lives in their city, Houston, that works or represents their city, Dallas, if they don't go vote for her, why would they vote for Talarico? You're gonna have the Republicans gonna win again. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. But you got the progressives and the establishment in the state of Texas, the Texas Democratic Party. I don't care if y'all don't like me. Y'all, they not for Jasmine. They want the white boy to win. The white boy from Round Rock. They think the white boy from Round Rock got the best chance to win. He'll get a lot. He has charged up a lot of progressives and a lot. But I'm saying you're going to go against Ken Paxton across the whole state of Texas trying to win white voters. I'm saying he looks like a little young guy who wet behind the ears. Does he got a fight in him? I'm saying you going against Ken Paxton, a known crook. Y'all saying that y'all remember they said, can VP Harris stand up against Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping? Can Talarico, the little preacher boy, he too smooth talking, he too little pretty. You need somebody like Jasmine going up against them. I'm trying to tell you, you don't listen to me though. But it's gonna be up to them black voters to go vote. And Jasmine, I'm trying to help her get them charged up. So I would tell them, I would give them some policy ideas. It don't matter. She's not running for president. So no one's going to hold her like, oh, Jasmine, you didn't get the bill passed that said you was going to give $25,000 to us first-time homeowners. They're not going to hold her responsible because she's not president. So they know she's got 49 other senators. And how many people in the House of Representatives? Hundreds. So you got to get this past all these other people. But hey, I'm going to author this bill. So, I'm not just giving them hope, Donnie. I'm actually doing some work to help the people. Another policy idea. As a senator for Texas, I will introduce a bill that will give Texas residents a $50,000 tax break if you start a business. Hey, I'm going to write the bill. What y'all going to say about me, NTZ Claus? What you gonna say about me, Tage? What can they say about me? Who that is? I'm gonna get down there, Titan Brew, in just a second. I'm writing the bill. What y'all gonna say? I'm writing the bill. What you gonna say? I'm writing the bill. I'm writing the bill. It's a policy. I'm saying voter-driven passion. We know you a fighter, baby girl. If you mix with that fighting, if you let us know, why you letting us know you a fighter, you telling us you got our struggle on your mind. So put that together. You fighting for our struggle. Voter-driven passion. As the senator for Texas, I will introduce a bill that will provide farmers a $15,000 stimulus for their losses due to tariffs in the Trump administration. Look, she in Congress. She knows more about what's going on in Congress. She in her state in Texas, she knows more about what's going on in her state. I'm saying whatever suffering the people have, get creative, come up with ideas. You finna be a senator. You need to start authoring some bills, baby girl. And I'm saying I got policy ideas for bills that I'll write that's going to help the constituents of my state. I call that voter-driven passion. So what I said, her strategy session, that District 18 and District 30, you know what I'm saying? She needs to start working on turning out her base. I will focus on District 18 and 30, that's Dallas and Houston, extremely hard. Okay? How you do that? Churches, black-owned businesses, restaurants, beauty salons, barbershops. That's what I'm doing. Primarily District 18 and 30, but I'm saying this weekend I'm hitting all of the Dallas, Fort Worth, 17 stops in 6 cities in 2 days. Do your thing, baby. But what I'm saying, this weekend and going to next Monday, number 3, she don't need to work from the 23rd to March the 3rd. Laugh at me if you want to and tell her to go to work. I'm saying she not gonna lose nothing in Congress. She trying to win an election. And she needs to go face to face with the voters. I'm saying early voting start tomorrow. She can't hit the campaign trail to what, Friday night, Saturday? So I'm saying early voting start tomorrow. Talarico out there talking to voters, out there pushing voters to the polls. You can't let him keep getting leads on you, getting head starts on you. He's spending more money than you don't want. I don't like how that. So I wouldn't let that happen. Starting on Monday the 23rd, all the way to election, Jasmine don't need to be in D.C. doing nothing. She needs to be in Texas, letting the people of Texas know that she wants to be their next senator. You got to put D.C. down for a minute, starting on the 23rd. If I was her, I would have done it this week. Because look, you could get all the shots at AG Bondi that you want to. I'm saying only some Texans care about that. A lot of them are seeing it, but only some of them gonna vote on that. You see what I'm saying? You need to be face to face with them voters. You need to out hustle him. This is a race. It's called a race, the Texas Senate race. It's a competition. You got to out hustle him. If he out there in them, you got to match that energy. I don't just be speaking for nothing. You can laugh if you want to. I'm saying we ain't trying to be like, we want to laugh. I want to laugh with you on March the 3rd if you supporting Jasmine. I want to laugh because I'm saying we did this with VP Harris and we see. So like I'm saying we got to be focused. We got to do as much as we can to be winning. We got to be trying to win. Step up Spanish ad buys. That guy has spent dropping millions talking. You don't understand as a Spanish speaker. Go to Russia. And you living in Russia. And say you got an election. And you got one candidate who's speaking in English to you. Constantly speaking in English to you. He constantly running ads speaking their language in the foreign country. I'm not saying a lot of these people speak English. Some of them don't. You know, in Texas, voter suppression, I would imagine most of them speak English and got a ID. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm trying to say, though, he constantly running ads in their language. He's trying to relate to them. You need to step up some money on some Spanish-speaking ads. You ain't got to spend as much as he do, but I'm saying spend something, $200,000. I would spend at least $500,000 on advertising on this point. A minimum of $500,000 going up to March the 3rd. And I know she already started. I'm saying whatever you spend, baby girl, I would spend $500,000 more. I would drop $500,000 more. And I'm not over there, but I'm saying that $500,000, I'll be targeting every TV in District 18 and different District 30, every TV, CNN, Fox News 2, MSNBC, all the sports games, every TV in different District 18 and District 30, every TV is going to see Jasmine. Every TV. Not just targeted for her voters or black neighborhoods. In District 18 and 30, every TV, I'll run them legacy media ads. Targeted. That's where I'll start at. And then I'll just, after this weekend, when they see her in District 18 and 30, you know what I'm saying? Because she could go, like they could go vote right now. So I'm saying when she touch them, you doing that push. She's seeing the individual. She charge up that community. She pep rally that community and then get people to vote. Oh, yeah, I went and vote. Who you vote? Yeah, and just, bro, that's how you run a campaign. Spanish-speaking ad. Number 5 was voter-driven passion. And that voter-driven passion is, Jasmine, baby, we know you a fighter. We already understand that. That's clear that you're a fighter. That's why you're winning amongst Democrats. We like how you go hard at President Trump. James Talarico, he's not going to be able to do that. He's not you. Ain't no politician in Texas is you, Jasmine. We love that as Democrats. We love that about you. That's what they saying, I'm telling you. That's what the voters saying. Forget the establishment in the Texas Democratic Party. I seen them. They ain't nothing but white boys. The little leader of the Texas Democratic Party, he a white, they all white boys. So why wouldn't they want James Talarico to win? He a white boy look, he a white boy from Jasmine. I'm just gonna have to say that Jasmine, what's unfortunate, baby girl, is it that once they lose this time, the next black person who comes up to be, because they let Colin Allred, they was okay with Colin Allred, and they lost with Colin Allred. But I'm saying that all that ghetto stuff, or that they say that's ghetto, that they think that they don't, that's what they need. You trying to get lazy black vote, low propensity. They don't understand it. I'm trying to give them the game. Everyone know that Jasmine is best suited to fight the Trump administration. They saw A.G. Bondi. They know she's a fighter. But like I said, what she's fighting for, the voters don't too much care about grilling A.G. Bondi. They aren't voting on that. They're voting on the fact that she's a fighter. Affordability. She's a fighter. Affordability. What she's fighting for them. She want to make their life better. That's key. My advice, she needs to start talking about what she will get done or attempt to get done to make the voters' lives better. I think it's important that Jasmine starts doing that, because she goes on to the general election. She's going to have to do that. She's going to have to bring a campaign that is more not targeted to her base, but that's targeted more to every single voter across the state of Texas. Her campaign in the general will have to look a lot like James Talarico's campaign. You see what I'm saying? But we're not in the general. We're in the Democratic primary. She's polling really well right now. You know what I'm saying? I look at the average of all polls. They put that Emerson poll in there. If you put that Emerson poll in there and you consider the fact that you'll have a lot of Democrats, or excuse me, a lot of Republicans, or not a lot of Republicans, but a lot of independents voting, he's going to have a lot of independents voting. If the man got 500,000 individual campaign contributions from every single county in Texas, I couldn't believe that. I thought that might have been AI. Somebody fact check that for me. James Talarico, if I heard it right, y'all say he got 500,000 individual campaign contributions. So he got 500,000 Texans to give him money for his campaign. That's at least 750,000 votes minimum. If that's right, if that's accurate. If he got 500,000 people to give him money, them 500,000 people are going to vote for him on the third more than likely. And some. He probably get about six. I mean, on the low end, I don't see him getting less than 600,000 votes. Even if he's not that as popular as Jasmine. I'm saying if he got that much in campaign contributions, yeah, definitely. So, guys, Jasmine for Texas, episode number 7. I gave you a strategy session. I'll do a quick summary, and then I'll jump down there in the comments. There is over 2 million black people living in the Houston metro area and the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. There's over 500,000, 500,000 black voters in the Houston metro and the Dallas-Fort Worth metro. I looked at previous primaries, the 2018 Democratic primary, the 2020, 2022, I looked at 2024, I looked at all the Democratic primaries. Then I looked at the Senate races. So gauging the voter turnout in the Democratic primaries and the Senate races, I came up with a number, prediction number 1. I predict that between 1.4 million and 2.1 million voters will vote in the Democratic primary in this Texas Senate race on March the 3rd. Using those numbers, I said prediction number 2, your bottom line minimum for Jasmine to win. I'm saying I predict she needs a minimum of 700 to 800,000 votes to win. If I was her, the number that I would be going out after to assure a win. And I don't even know if this will be an astounding win, but I think this will be a definite win if she gets 1.3 million voters to show up for her. But I'm saying she's shooting for a minimum of 800,000 votes. Okay? She's a black woman. Let's be real. There's 3.7 million registered black voters registered in the state of Texas. 3.7 million registered. Is that right? Y'all tell me where I'm wrong. You got 30 million residents. 20% of them are black, right? So 20% of 30 million is what? 6 million people. So you got about 6 million or so black people in the state of Texas. I'm saying 3.7 million registered black voters. If all you need is 1.3 million votes, I'm saying she got the numbers to get it in the black voters. If you could get all the black voters, 3 million black voters to show up and vote, you got 3.7 million registered black voters in Texas. Everything happened up to this point does not matter. The only thing that matters is getting at least 1.5 million black voters in Texas to vote. If she does that and she wins 70% of them, she'll do just fine. So my second prediction is that the winner needs at least 800,000 votes to win. First prediction, in the Democratic primary, you'll have between 1.4 million and 2.1 million voters. Second prediction, the winner needs at least 800,000 to win. So in my strategy session, I just went through the numbers that I just went through to y'all that gives her specific targeting. District 18 and District 30, where she lives and the district she represents, is almost 50% black. I mean, she's popular in them districts. Why wouldn't you go drum up the base? That's why she a smart girl. She's super intelligent. That's why I'm gonna do a IG ad and said they trying to freeze me out of money. They really trying to freeze her out of money. But I'm saying, why am I doing? Yeah, because it's the type of crowd that's on IG, and she trying to motivate them to go vote. Just like they saying she can't win, it's like saying black people can't win. That's what she needs. Black people can't go to 3.7 million registered voters in the state of Texas and tell them that Talarico said that black people can't win, black people ain't nothing, they ain't gonna never be nothing. Hey, the Texas Democratic Party, they hate me, boy. I know they mad as a hornet. But you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get Jasmine a win, and that's Jasmine for Texas. That's episode number 7. That's an hour and a half I've been on here cooking with you guys, man. If you guys haven't liked the video, go ahead and like the video for your boy Ghost Rider. Double tap the screen for your boy Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you guys. Hey, yeah, I appreciate that love, man. I appreciate that love, but you know I'm rocking hard with my baby girl. You know what I'm saying? And what I gave her a straight game. Listen, when I come in here and so I started doing the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So every Monday I'm going live with this, and I'm going to be rocking with her on election night, okay? You know what I'm saying? So I started giving the numbers. And I know Monday through Friday she can't work. She can't, her campaign should be out there working. I wish I could, baby girl, you got to call me after April for real. You know what I'm saying? So I can at least know what's going. I feel like if I know what's going on, I'm going to make her win. So look, I know her campaign and them, they're out there working Monday through Friday. I didn't peep it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying for her to, it's like a pep rally. She not trying to make her a star, but she like LeBron James. She's the person they're voting for. They're voting for either her or Talarico. I heard somebody say, "Oh, you don't want to make a candidate a star. You just jealous of her. The girl famous, she famous. That's just what it is." I'm not trying to make her a star. I'm saying that the people they want to vote for. Look, the little Spanish girls in the community, they gonna say they want to go vote. We're tired of President Trump. He deported my nephew, my cousin, so they want to go vote. So I'm saying they going to vote. They vote. They don't know if they want to vote for Talarico or they gonna vote for Jasmine. I'm saying if Jasmine show up in their neighborhood, that's what I'm saying. If they see her in their neighborhood, her personally, that's just like I know a person who hired a lawyer, and this lawyer's famous, right? And they said this lawyer got on the phone and called her personally. He got a whole team, a whole corporation, all of that working for him. But when he called her personally, that locks it in. That's what I'm saying. She needs face to face with those voters. So that's why I wrote it the way I did, because I know she's only going to be able to do it Friday night, I think Saturday and Sunday. She did 17 stops in 6 different cities in 2 days. She's got to do that again this weekend. And I think it's important, in my opinion. I would layer. I want to see that person 3 or 4 times. I want to bump you in the streets. I want you to pick up your phone and see it on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, or on. I want you to cut on the TV and see me on the TV. And I want you to get a flyer. And I want us to knock on your door and call your phone. If I do all that, I know you're going to vote. Listen to me. You got to look at it like this. If you see me on the TV, that's how ghosts are. That's how I advertise. Look, the people who I did promotions for, okay, for small black businesses before I started Miller Ray Legal, I would tell them you gonna get this many. They said they ain't never seen no business do that, marketing and advertising, to where you finna give me $1,500. I'm gonna tell you, you finna get 27 customers on Tuesday. I told them the exact number, a range of customers, just like I did y'all, and was spot on. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the way I target the people. The more times they see you, the better your chance. If they look, if I got 200 in my pocket and I need a pair of shoes, but I'm undecided, I'm saying, so man, I go in the store and I see this dude with a pair of retro Jordans on. I'm like, man, them Jordans are so clean. This almost a serious story. I seen some retro Jordans, bro. They so clean, bro. I wanted to buy them off his feet, bro. But say I go back to my life and I'm just chilling. I still got the 200. I still wanted a couple of shoes, but I ain't decided yet. And then I see a commercial. Here come Jordan. You see what I'm saying? And he's in their shoes. There go them shoes again, boy. Them shoes, man. I want them shoes, boy. And then say I go and somebody give me a flyer, and now I got a flyer with them shoes on it, bro. What you think? I'm going to end up buying them shoes. It's subconsciously. I'm saying, so, like, if I'm saying targeting District 18 and targeting District 30, even if your infrastructure on your campaign is smaller, you can do that. Targeting District 30, that's her district. Even if he redrew the lines, she campaigned in her district. Run that campaign through your district. Make sure the people in your community are going to show up and vote for you. Then you live in Houston, go down there to 18. That's the district I lived in District 18 in Houston. It's 40-some% black. Go down there to District 18 and run it through District 18. Because I'm saying, if you supercharge District 18 and District 30, those surrounding counties and communities in Dallas-Fort Worth, that's over 500,000 black voters alone. And you could do that just this weekend. And when you drop in that $500,000, because I spend $500,000. See, when I'm doing the TV ads, I have social media, all of it will be on that District 18 and 13. You need to do more than District 18. You got to be around the whole state now, really, because you want to at least reach all 3.7 million blacks, registered black voters in Texas. You want to reach them at least one time. But I'm saying like if I'm targeting District 18 and 30 extra hard because you got numbers there. If you drive up them numbers, you could get almost half of the votes you need, the minimum number you need to win, just off of Dallas and Houston. And then statewide, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she do got her name, and I mean they know she running for white boy from she running, you know what I'm saying, against white boy from Round Rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that's the game, bro. I'm trying to win the election. I'd be like the Republicans and President Trump. I get all racial and stuff. Start posting the white boy. I put the white boy with a saltine cracker. What's a racist thing that black people could do for against white people? Because I'm saying if you got President Trump posting Obama's on, I do the same thing. I'm not trying to be racist, bro, whatsoever. Not at all. I'm not a racist person. I'm trying to win an election. Donnie asked me the other day, what would I do to win an election without compromise my morals and values? No, not at all. I'm not at all lying to the people whatsoever. We not lying to the people about nothing we saying or we doing. But I'm trying to win. And I'm saying for Talarico, if y'all had Talarico, can he get those lazy black voters to go vote? No. If Jasmine can't do it, he can't either. The great white hope. If Jasmine can't listen, those black voters, they kind of went and voted for Beto. He was just a little bit short. He came up a little bit short. He kind of got him out. Beto was the closest one because he focused on them black. Instead of Beto, you needed Jasmine in 2018, and you would have a black senator right now. With that same strategy Beto had in 2018, if you had a black female, he would have them lazy black people would have got up and voted. You have a better chance for them to vote for her than you have for anybody else. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. Talarico, Ken Paxton gonna be your next senator. And I can't wait because that Texas, I know I got a target because Jasmine just gave me my target. She said the establishment. I know she ain't talking about AOC ain't the establishment, but like Hakeem Jeffries in there. I think Hakeem Jeffries endorsed her. I don't think she's talking about them, are you, Jasmine? I think she's talking about, because I seen it, the Texas Democratic establishment. I seen it. The Texas Democrats. I seen it, bro. I'm sitting here looking at this dude talking about Jasmine. They want, and then your boy, my boy James Carville. I thought James Carville, you was my dude, and he won't Talarico to win. See, James Carville, that made me not see. Make it seem like y'all Democrats kind of racist a little bit because you think Jasmine can't win, bro. That's on you though. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Green Gore and Donnie know Elon isn't living off loans, paid with other loans. No, I don't think he living off loans either, man. Elon got that big bread. Why is it zero value? Because it's illegal to sell them 5 years to 7 years with paid salary. No, it's lazy black voters. Tage, that's what it is. It's lazy black voters. Ghostwriter isn't a voice for the black people or anything like that. I'm a voice for truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't care how you feel. Just don't get punched in the eye. It's lazy black voters. It's lazy Hispanic voters too, and lazy white voters, but the largest proportion of voters who are registered, who are not voters, who are black people. Why aren't y'all voting? Y'all need to get up and go vote for Jasmine. That's all Ghost saying. Y'all need to get up and go vote for Jasmine, man. That's all Ghost saying. Tage, what is it then? You said you disagree. What is it? I'm saying, tell me what you think the strategy or the formula or the pathway is to win for Jasmine or for any Texas Democrat who had won in 30 some years. What's the pathway? Good morning, Cameron. I don't see no other pathway for Jasmine to win. You see what I'm saying? There ain't no other way. How else, listen, how else could she win? Tage, what you mean be honest? I'm being completely honest. I'm being as honest as I possibly can. There's nothing phony about the girl. Like her, she talks proper. That's attractive to us. I'm a black guy. How you gonna tell me what's phony and what's real? You got white people saying she phony, like they know what's real and what's fake. I'm a black dude. I know what's real and what's fake. We don't care if she talk white. A lot of black girls talk white. It's Hispanic girls we like who talk white. We don't care nothing about that. She fine, she pretty, and she fight for all black causes. Ain't nothing phony about her. Thank you, Tay. She's not funny. Oh, and I believe that you're not white. I feel you're not white. I'm talking about the Heather Elsie says that she's phony. It ain't nothing phony about Jasmine. Nothing phony. She real as could be. Texas Pete's, no, she's not. You a hater. Tell me how she phony. You just talking. How is she phony? Oh, I could say that about anybody. I could say you phony. I could say, I know, that's what I'm saying. Oh, all of them on the Epstein list, that's their problem. I could say you phony too. Listen, they want the white girl, the white boy to win. They want the white boy for round walk to win, Tage. I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. That's what I'm talking about. Donnie says, me, when he sold stock options, finally look at that money afterwards. He used it to invest in a new business. And guess what? Got a lot back from filing loops. Texas, you say all the Democrats. Maybe I'm not a Republican, an independent, and I'm definitely not a Democrat. Maybe all the Democrats, what you saying, but today we talking about Jasmine Crockett, and Jasmine Crockett is not phony. So I ain't talking about no other Democrats. That's on the Democrats. I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. Your boy Ellen Talarico, he phony. James Talarico, he phony. Oh, I don't take no money for no super PACs. I want the people. He is the most uninspiring, boring candidate that I ever seen in my life. The only reason some of y'all supporting him because he a white boy. Ken Paxton finna dust that dude. Ken Paxton gonna have his way with that. Y'all really in y'all mind. Oh, this is every single year the Democrats in Texas. This is our year. This is our year, and y'all gonna put up and them black people ain't showing up. That people are not even as mad as they are about President Trump. They are not that excited about James Talarico. He's just like Colin Allred. There's nothing exciting about him. I ain't no Colin Allred. Colin Allred is a lawyer, football player. I didn't say he was an unaccomplished black man or whatever. I'm talking about his personality. Look at Jasmine's personality and look at his personality. His personality is flat as a car, flat as that hood. It's flat. He just got a flat personality. I don't think he'll fight for nothing. I don't think he can fight for anything. What can he fight for? He don't even talk loud. He go, yeah. Well, how you fighting for me and you talking like this? I don't, bro. Jasmine is a much better. I'm feeling Jasmine 10,000%. Yeah, personally, professionally, whateverly. Jasmine is a better candidate. She's a better everything than that dude, period. No, Tage, I didn't say I was a Democrat. I am not no Democrat. Look, I ain't never voted for no Democrat in my life. I am not registered to the Democratic Party. What makes me a Democrat? You ain't if you don't vote, you not a Democrat. If you calling yourself a Democrat and you ain't never voted Democrat, you're not a Democrat. That's not, I'm talking about voters. When I say a Democrat, I'm talking about voters, not people walking around saying, hey, I'm a Democrat, but they don't vote. No, I'm not a Democrat. That's facts. I'm just in the realness. I'm not into what people want it to be. I'm into what it actually is. What it actually is, I'm not a Democrat. I ain't never voted for a Democrat. I am not affiliated with the Democratic Party. If I lived in the state of Texas, I will go vote for Jasmine. Period. She'll be the first Democrat I ever voted for in my life. Period. That's facts. So I'm not a Democrat. I don't support no Democrat. None of that. It's personally. Jasmine, personally. Yes. Jasmine, personally. It's personal. It's professionally. She's the best candidate in the state of Texas to do that job. Period. I come in here and I litigate that all the time. Texas Pete or anyone else, y'all just coming into the stream and y'all ain't really in. That's why I really can't catch y'all. Oh, look at my baby. Lauren, hey, if you guys want to become a member of the channel, y'all see Miss Lauren for over 10 months. She's been a member of Legal Wars Live. Tage, you guys, y'all want to join the channel, hit that button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Miss Lori is telling y'all that I am not no Democrat. I'm not even close to being a Democrat. Miss Lori, tell them not even close. I like candidates individually. If AOC ran an election against 90 people, I would pick her. I don't care if she was running against a Democrat or independent. I don't care who she was running. It's the kind of candidate that I'm looking for. Jasmine could be running. Look who. Oh, my girl, Miss Laura, she done sent somebody a gift. Green Gore in Politics is now a member of the channel. Welcome to the channel. And thank you, Miss Lori, for that donation, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Miss Lori, for all your support, baby. I got mad love for you. She just pop in. She show love to Big Ghostwriter, gifting that channel membership. I appreciate that, sweetheart. But listen, though, yeah, man, I'm not no Democrat, though. If I ride with a Democrat and I'm an independent, look, if you an independent, what you gonna vote for? Stephen A. Smith said he an independent. Who he vote for? He said he outvote Democrat every election, but he independent. Joe Rogan, an independent. Who Joe Rogan voted for? Y'all probably say he voted for President Trump, but last election he probably voted for President Biden. I'm saying, an independent can vote either way. You can't put an independent with a party. That's why we independent. We vote how we want to. It's only two parties. Jasmine's the better candidate out of anybody in that race. She way better than the Republicans. Miss Lori, James Talarico, the Democrat, he better than the Republicans. I just don't think he'll beat Paxton. I think Jasmine is the one that could beat him. And I told y'all, I gave y'all all the stats and facts and numbers, and this ain't no round estimates today. These are real legit stats. Y'all call me out on anything I was wrong on. Miss Lori says, mad love to you, baby, too. For sure, for sure. You know what I'm saying? We stood up for VP Harris, man. Like, I just wish that I could work. I know eventually, Miss Lori, I'll be able to work on that campaign and just do it how I want to do it, man. And I'm telling you, Ghosts will get nothing but W's. Miss Lori says, Texas Peace, Jim Jordan has passed anything in 16 years. And that's true. You see what I'm saying? That's true. But that's what I'm saying. Look, Jasmine she been there for 4 years. She's a new congressperson. But a criticism, Miss Lori, that I heard Stephen A. Smith did make against her, he said that, you know what I'm saying, she spends a lot of time talking about the Trump administration and not talking about what she'll do for the people. So what I'm saying, that doesn't hurt her, Miss Lori, talking about the Trump administration during a Democratic primary with President Trump is not popular. That doesn't hurt her. But what I'm saying is, over a period of time, I felt like, you know, that's why I gave in one of my tips is that, you know, she start giving policy ideas. You see what I'm saying? Because it's about time for her to author a bill. So her giving policy ideas right now would not hurt her at all. Because I'm saying, even though she in the Senate, you might not be able to get the bill passed. If you get the bill authored, I think that'll help a lot. Miss Lori said he's not, oops. Let's see, Tay says, what has she done? She's done a lot for her constituents. Go to the 18th and ask them go to the 30th and ask them what she's done. Go to Dallas. She's done a lot for her constituents, bro. You know, these constituents, especially in these poor communities, they be needing help. You know what I'm saying? They need help in their personal life, and Jasmine helps people in their personal life, man. That's facts. You see, my boy NTZ Claus says policy, not policy. I believe that in almost every single thing we do, it's all about the policy or the execution of the policy. President Trump is saying that we shouldn't let 25 million illegals in our country. I agree with that. The policy. You see what I'm saying? The execution of the policy is something totally different. Two men shouldn't get married. I agree with that. The policy. You shouldn't allow your 3-year-old to have a sex change. I agree with that. The policy. Tax the rich. I agree with that. The policy. You see what I'm saying? What it comes down to is a candidate. You're going to look at which candidate best represents you and best agrees with the things that you agree with. And that's who you're going to vote for. Lori says she secured infrastructure bills for her constituents. Just like you hear what Miss Lori said. Guys, look, since you said that, and since we starting to vote, then on episode number 8 in Jasmine for Texas, I'm gonna tell y'all what all she has done for her community and for her constituents. That's what I'm gonna do on episode 8. I promise y'all that. I'm gonna give y'all it to you. You know what I'm saying? Since the people going out there and voting, you know what I'm saying, about that time and start the promotion. I'm sorry, I'm slow on it. I wish I had the money. I would do a super PAC for Jasmine. I would have bro, I promise you, if I was rich, I'd dump at least 2-3 million in that race. That's what's gonna happen if I get rich. I'll be running, you know, I do all my media and stuff, so I just hire somebody to help me out. You know what I'm saying? I'll be running commercials and ads. You know, I'm very creative too. You know what I'm saying? Them Democrats, and some Republicans that love me too, because I get behind the candidate. I believe in Jasmine Crockett, man. I really do. Just like I believed in VP Harris. I believe in Jasmine. I believe in AOC. You know what I'm saying? I believe in Nikki Haley. She a Republican. And I like Nikki Haley. She a Republican. I named you 4 women. Jasmine, AOC, VP Harris, and Nikki Haley. And out those 4 women, you know what I'm saying? Nah, for real. I'm just being real. You keep saying I'm a Democrat. How I'm a Democrat and I'm calling Nikki Haley's name? That don't make sense. I got a video up with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Highlight Marjorie Taylor Greene, bro. I don't understand how y'all keep saying I'm a Democrat, man. Thank you for that donation, baby. Thank you. Miss Lori says it's because he wants accuracy on his channel, not misinformation. Yeah, for sure, definitely. And Miss Lori, that's why today I took a chance to go over the accurate numbers. I did accurate numbers today. All those numbers were accurate. There's I think about 340,000, but I'm going to just tell you over 300,000 registered Black voters in the Houston metro area. Somebody Google me and fact check me. There's 200,000 plus registered Black, or roughly, I'm going to say roughly 200,000 registered Black voters in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. Fact check me, see if I'm accurate. There's 3.7 million registered Black voters in the state of Texas. Fact check me, see if I'm accurate. You know what I'm saying? I did a section in this stream called Tracking the Numbers. And then I did a strategy session, bro. You know, I'm dead on. I'm spot on with them numbers. Spot on. I'm sure about that. Somebody says white liberal women have destroyed the West. And I'm saying white liberal women might destroy Texas too. It ain't got nothing to do with them being white. I don't care. So Anna is on the Young Turks. She a white woman and she liberal, but like I love Anna. Like, it don't have nothing to do with them being white and liberal. I'm just saying, like, the liberal part, like, there is a thing about a female being white and liberal. I don't know. It's just something, I don't know. Because that's what I pick up on James Talarico. This thing about James Talarico, I just don't know. Like, a Democrat, I don't think it matters that they're white. It's just that it's like a certain type of a voter or a certain type of person. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to describe. You see what I'm saying? It's hard for me to describe. I'm not going to put nothing on a particular person because they race, they color, they creed, or nothing. I'm going to just say that Jasmine Crockett is my choice for senator in the state of Texas. That's who I endorse. And pretty much in, you know what I'm saying, about 2 weeks and some change, we going to find out if she's going to represent the Democratic Party, you know what I'm saying, in November. Lori says Anna is amazing. She's not partisan. Man, I love Anna. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, this is what I'm saying. I don't have nothing against a liberal or you could say a conservative white woman destroyed the South. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we could say a whole lot of different things. I don't have none. It's just that, if this is what I was trying to say earlier. I didn't know how to say this. If you a Democrat, don't hide behind your race if you're a Democrat. If Republicans hide behind their race, I talk about Nick Fuentes all the time. If Republicans hide behind their race, that's one thing. They play that card a lot. I'm saying the Democrats, you're supposed to be for civil rights. You're supposed to be for. So James Carville, don't be saying that you for this white boy over the black female. And we done gave the white boys a million times. We hadn't gave a black female one time. And Jasmine been put getting in the mud. I'm talking about putting her safety at risk, everything on the line for the Democrats in Texas, and you just foo-foo her for this white boy from Round Rock. That's what we talking about. It's like you need to go be a Republican because you say you a Democrat, you say you believe, and he over there, it's the white boy that's hanging with you that go and tell the police on you. He go snitch on you. Your white homeboy who snitch on you. That's what that feeling when you said the liberal white woman destroyed. That's that feeling that I get. You gonna go against Jasmine to pick James Talarico. You know Jasmine is a way bigger everything than James Talarico. But they dumping all the money on James Talarico and trying to freeze Jasmine out of the money. Why is that? Because she a ghetto black girl. That's what I'm saying. That's racist stuff coming from y'all Texas Democratic Party. Y'all half racist, period. I don't care what nobody say. That's what it is. We don't have them problems. You don't have that problem up here in New York. You ain't going to have that problem in Cali. You ain't going to have that problem in Pennsylvania where my baby Lori at. But you talking about Texas. Like I said, the Texas Democrat is not the same as an Illinois or a Chicago Democrat. A Texas Democrat is not the same as a New York Democrat. They not the same. Them Texas Democrats still halfway racist. So if you say a white liberal woman destroyed the West, they definitely was destroyed the South. They confused. They're supposed to be for civil rights, but they halfway racist. Texas Democrat Party, James Carville, if y'all didn't have no racism in y'all, why would you pick the lower rated candidate who is losing in the polls over James Talarico? You want James Talarico, huh? Just like the Emerson, y'all wanted James Talarico to win. That's why y'all out here lying to the voters. Yeah, look, Emerson poll Miss Lord, they polled 28% of Democrats in the Democratic primary. They polled more Republicans than they did independents and Democrats to give Talarico a 9-point lead. To try to tell the donors that don't donate to Jasmine. You see what I'm saying? We gonna have to see though. Like you gotta fight through all that stuff, Jazzy though. And it's even that much more harder because Monday through Friday she in DC, man. And she not in Texas, you know? Man, I just wish I was there, you know what I'm saying, to run because Talarico is a formidable opponent, man. I was hoping that Jasmine didn't have to go through something, you know what I'm saying, this hard in a primary. Like her primary, man, she went through a tough time in her primary. Bro, I was hoping she wouldn't have a primary this hard, but she get the W though. She should be ready for the general. You know what I'm saying? But Talarico, he a formidable opponent, man. He dropping a whole lot of bread. You know, and I don't know if that's true, but if he got 500,000, I'm talking about 500,000 individual donors, he gonna have some people who gonna show up and vote for him. He got them super PACs behind him too, so he gonna get a white boy too. He gonna get a showing though, man. So Jasmine gotta make sure she do everything she need to do to win. Go hard, go hard, go hard. Y'all, we've been streaming about 2 hours now. Miss Lori donated, somebody else donated. I appreciate the love. Guys, right about this time, since Miss Lori, she got y'all through. She got she updated her channel membership 10 months and she gifted a channel membership. I appreciate that, Miss Lori. I love you, baby girl. And then somebody else donated as well. So I appreciate y'all donations. For those donations, I'm gonna give y'all at least another hour. We got at least another hour. We gonna be live streaming, okay? But guys, for just a second, y'all, I'm not getting off. I'm not getting off, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But just a second though, I'm gonna jump out like I do this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get y'all ready for the Tax to Rich tour. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like I said, I'll kick it with y'all for at least another hour if y'all want to. You know what I'm saying? But I've been out here in the Hudson Valley trying to get y'all ready to get back out here on the road and do them outside tours, baby. Up here in Big NY, the Hudson Valley, y'all. Hey guys, if y'all haven't liked the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Guys, y'all give me like 5 minutes. And when I jump back in the stream, I'm going to stay with y'all for the next hour, man. Y'all enjoy the scene, though, up here in Hudson Valley, man. Right in the New York City metro area. What's up? What's up? What's up, man? I see y'all down there. What Miss Lori says? She says, Jeremy, are you okay with your new energy bills? Yet only talking about taxes, which Republicans raised again. Yes, they did raise those taxes again. Miss Lori, what I heard is that was like one of the largest transfers of wealth in U.S. history. You feel me? Look, this is what I'm saying. They talk about redistribution of wealth, right, Miss Lori? You know we always talking about redistribution of wealth. You quick to hear a Republican talking about redistribution of wealth. Oh, the Democrats are socialists. All they want to do is redistribute wealth. So you take $1 trillion from the bottom half of Americans, the lower earning Americans. You take $1 trillion from them with those tax cuts. Those cuts to Medicaid, those cuts to Medicare, those cuts to SNAP. You take $1 trillion from the poorest Americans and you give it to Elon and them. You know what I'm saying? But Republicans, they are against redistribution of wealth. That's why y'all need ghosts on your team, bruh. You ain't never heard nobody put it out like that. You know I love CNN. I ain't never heard them say that. Nobody on there. None of them moderators, whatever on them, and contributors. I ain't hear it on Fox, of course, on MSNBC. Republicans, Miss Lori, are against redistribution of wealth. But with that big, beautiful bill, the cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and SNAP, $1 trillion worth of cuts, they gave it to Elon and them. They redistributed the wealth from the bottom to the top. No, it's well known. Republicans are for businesses. Republicans are for the rich, and the Democrats are for the poor, or the Democrats, and most times, if you get a good Democrat like Bill Clinton, they're going to be for the people. No, I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. That's my independent analysis of the situation. Go Jasmine Crockett. Back up in the ride, in the whip. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I like the whip, though. It's pretty straight, though. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? Like, man, I ain't never show y'all my car, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Got a little X1. You feel me? Little BMW X1, man. My bad about that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Got me like a little BMW X1, man. This is in cruising with Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? Riding with Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? This is a Jasmine for Texas. So we doing them on Mondays now, every Monday. You know what I'm saying? Until we get through this primary on March the 3rd. You know, but the cruising with Ghost Rider will be back tomorrow. I think it's episode like what, number 49? So we almost on episode number 50 of Cruising with Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? I did We the People tour, man. Like, you guys, I always encourage y'all to check out that content. You know what I'm saying? It's under the video tabs. Did a bunch of live streams, man. Started in Tennessee, went all across America, man. You know what I'm saying? It just ended up out here in Hudson Valley, man, up here in New York. I did NYC. We did Times Square, man, on Christmas Eve, man. You know what I'm saying? That content, I think, is available for anyone to view. And then Miss Lori, you know what I'm saying, yesterday on Sunday, I did a members only stream, you know what I'm saying, to where the members, like, I'm promoting that, guys. I did some of the most beautiful live streams all over America. Real talk. So you guys, those memberships are $2.99. Miss Lori, I appreciate those purchases. Let me see. Let me try to get some of these comments. Who is this? I'm sorry, it's a glare. That's Green Gordon. He says only way the GOP can get a mandate to support their greed is by spreading fear and hate and telling them that scared. But see, here's the thing about Green Gordon. The thing about that is they're not going to be able to do that. I could say they might have tried that and failed. You could spread hate and you could spread fear, but you spreading fear of people fearing you. You ain't spreading fear. People like on your side. People are fearing. They're fearing. I'm saying, look at Renee Good, and I always go back to that. And Alex Peretti. It's no way. I'm saying, like, I can't see President. That's what he attempting to do. The Republicans might attempt to do it. There's no way he could be successful in that. So I don't see how the GOP wins. NTZ Close. He says that is true. Tariffs are much harder on the poor than on the ultra wealthy. Ultra wealthy, definitely they are. Donnie says in Ohio, my energy bill isn't higher, but I am in a currently red state. Where are y'all energy prices going up? So I guess people said their energy prices going up. Yeah, that is state to state. You know what I'm saying? That might be more on a state politician or state politics than it is on federal politics. But I mean, you know, I've always said it, man, same talking points. President Trump, he took ownership of what we call affordability, you know what I'm saying? Like we have a housing crisis in America. I hear Mandami talking about it. I guess in New York, I don't hear President Trump really talking about it that much. You know what I'm saying? There's a shortage of housing. Rent's too high. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to McDonald's, man. I love McDonald's. I stay in McDonald's, man. You know what I'm saying? But like even everything has went higher. Y'all remember those dollar cheeseburgers at McDonald's? Tell McDonald's bring them dollar double cheeseburgers back. Them dollar double cheeseburgers like $3 and something up here. Everything got higher, man. It's not going back down. Miss Lloyd says Donnie everywhere. She says, let me see. Videos of thousands of people crying about their new energy bills. And Green says, yes, exactly. I know in Texas that could be an issue. Y'all just gave Jasmine Crockett an issue, Miss Lloyd, that she could run on. Because I know Texas is on a power, they're off the grid. So they have a lot of problems with like their lights going out or staying out. They have energy problems. I know they have my pops. I stayed in Houston for like over 2 years in that district, one of them districts I was talking about, District 18. So I know that, you know, in Texas they have those kind of problems, energy bills. I think that's something that she could say that would relate to the people. You know what I'm saying? The people could feel that. And I think she could use that, you know what I'm saying, as something that she actually campaigns on. So I appreciate that, Miss Lord. Where's that comment? I'm pin that. I see you guys down there having that conversation. If you guys haven't liked the video, make sure y'all double tap the video. I'm trying to get everybody in here. Donnie says, Lori, I'm out near Cleveland. Our energy bill is low. It's up since COVID, but it's only something kilowatts. Cali is something. So he's saying that energy bills are higher than in Cali. Energy bills probably higher in New York. The cost of living is higher in New York and Cali, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I could also say, honestly, that people made more money in New York and California as well. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like a win-lose situation. But I mean, like overall, nationwide, that's what we should be looking at and researching instead. I know you guys want to speak of your community, and it's important to identify with your community, but I'm talking about as far as presidential politics. Not saying that President Trump is responsible for our energy bill being lower or higher or about at the same price, but what I'm saying is he said on day one he was going to get the cost down. You know what I'm saying? We on like day number 300 and what, 50, 60, 70? I don't want y'all people to say I'm not being accurate. I'm just guessing. But But I'm saying we over 350 some days, and I'm saying like, are we right at 350 some days? And I'm saying them prices ain't went down none. So I think, that's something that we definitely, I think that is definitely worthy of, what I'm saying, us paying attention to. If I was, if I was in Jasmine, what I'm saying, like I know the interviews she's doing, I know they're asking her questions and she's just answering the question straight up. She's being real and authentic, and I love that. You know what I'm saying? Especially they're asking questions to where she could charge up the base. But what I'm saying is I'll still pull that Mandami, you know what I'm saying? In some of those interviews, I'll start practicing for the way she needs to run when that general election. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they ask Mandami a question, I told y'all this before, they'll say, yeah, like, so what about the relationship between the Muslims and the Jews in New York? He'd be like, yeah, I want to keep all of the New Yorkers safe. That makes New York a safe community for everyone, even the Muslims and the Jews. But yes, I also want to make sure that we get the cost of rent down for New Yorkers everywhere. We want to lower the cost of rent. You know what I'm saying? Even if they ask him a question, every question they ask him, he was going to throw that affordability, or he was going to do that voter connection, that vision. You got to connect with those voters, man. Like you got to get, and that's what I'm saying. Like we got that, it's that extra, that whichever candidate pulls that extra You know what I'm saying? Jasmine is relying on the fact that she has high name recognition and she's extremely popular within the Democratic Party. If you look at within the city of Houston, so Texas Southern, I think that's, if they're in Houston, if I'm not mistaken, somebody could fact check me. And I know the University of Houston is in Houston. And both of those polls, she had large leads within the Democratic Party. Internal polling within the Democratic Party, it showed her about 13 points over James Talarico. But like I said, even in the Emerson poll within the Democratic Party, she was winning, but he was winning amongst independents, and there was more Republicans in a Democratic poll about the Democratic primary. There was more Republicans than there were independents and Democrats that were polled. I don't understand what Emerson College was doing. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like within the Democratic Party, she's extremely popular. And I think she's relying on that to win. But I'm saying, like, that's cool, and if you got the lead, you the front runner. And I know she's busy and she's got work, but it is of the utmost important that, she come back to the communities, particularly the 18th district in Houston and the 30th in Dallas this weekend, and like she kill those communities. You know what I'm saying? Like hair salons, barbershops, restaurants, churches, black-owned businesses, every opportunity she has to shake a hand. You know what I'm saying? I hope, like, if I was running her campaign, I would schedule her a campaign rally before February the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would, like, the next Jasmine for Texas, see, if she gets off on February the 3rd, she has a lot of days to go across the state. Because if I was her, I would try to touch at least about 30 to 40 counties. Yeah, that bus she got, I'll ride that bus all the way across through around Austin. I start in Dallas, I ride it to Houston, I ride it to Brownsville, I ride it all the way across San Antonio, I come up to Austin, I go up there to Texas Tech, I ride a whole circle into the 23rd. Stop after stop after stop. I'm doing TV advertising, I'm pushing, I'm hustling, bruh. I'm hustling for every vote from every Texan. You know what I'm saying? And if she do tracking, and I promise you, I'm gonna be able to tell. I see I know almost everything her campaign's doing. Like I have not one time critiqued anything her campaign's done. or is like what I'm saying is what I did is I laid down on episode number 1, episode number 2, episode number 3, episode number 4, and we to episode number 7, like I just did. I laid down a strategy of about 5 things or so. First, I gave y'all the news. I gave y'all polls. Or today, I told y'all how a podcaster said, you know what I'm saying, that money wins elections. And James Talarico probably going to end up raising probably 15 times more money than Jasmine. But he's still losing in the polls. I gave y'all polls like Mandami was outspent. You know what I'm saying? How Paxton is being outspent 30-1, and he's still winning. And then I gave y'all that, and we did tracking the numbers. And that's when I told y'all how many black voters are in Houston and Dallas, primarily in the 30th and the 18th, where she represents and lives, respectively. You see what I'm saying? And then 3.7 million black voters in the state. Accurate numbers, Miss Lori. Y'all go fact check me. You see what I'm saying? That's giving her a vision or a strategy on how she needs to get. My first prediction, I predict between 1.4 million and 2.1 million people will vote in the 2026 Texas Democratic primary. So she needs to get at a low end. That means a minimum of between 700 and 8,000 votes. What I predict the winning vote total will be 1.3 million votes. I believe you probably end up needing 1.3 million votes to win that election. Those are all predictions. So I'm standing on that. I'm saying you could laugh, you could say whatever, 30 people only in the live stream, you only getting 4,000, 3,000 views. I don't care what you say. I'm saying from Jasmine for Texas to episode 1 to episode number 8, I gave y'all straight game. You see what I'm saying? You 15 days out from that primary. You can laugh at James Talarico all you want to. He ain't no joke. And James, you can laugh at Jasmine. I think he taking it serious. That's why they spending all that money. She ain't no joke either. That race probably going to end up neck to neck. 3 or 4 points. One way or the other. It's going to be neck to neck, 3 or 4 points. Those are all legitimate predictions. That's being recorded right now. I don't care how many people's watching it while it's live. When I start screen sharing, Miss Lori, I'm going to start clipping the videos, and then I'm going to play the videos for them. But I'm saying, like, I'm giving y'all predictions. That's what I do. I'm a strategy. I'm not just giving you the strategy. I'm giving you the strategy with a prediction. So, like, I don't like saying this because I love VP Harris. But I've said this before. Like, I gave my strategy was that Josh Shapiro was the best vice presidential pick. I'm trying to win. So I'm saying if you hire me as your campaign advisor, and I look at Tim Walz, I ain't got nothing against Governor Walz personally, but I look at Governor Walz, and when you tell me that that's your pick for VP, all I'm doing is this nonstop. No, Josh Shapiro should be your VP pick. Josh Shapiro looks like a VP. Governor Walz look like he doesn't. Governor Walz look like John Kerry. Failed presidential run. Nah, that's what I'm saying. Governor Shapiro, he looked like a VP. That's what I'm saying. VP Harris, you look like a president, but hey, you know, she picked who she picked. You know, VP Harris, go back and check the content. The live streams, we started supporting VP Harris. VP Harris, I believe that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would separate myself from Joseph Biden. That's what I would do. Because Joe Biden at that time, his approval ratings in the 30%. Inflation in 2022 hit like how many year high? I don't want to give y'all a number. So I'm looking at the polls like The people are not. And then they got a candidate who ran for who was president before. And when he was president, prices were lower. So they're looking at him thinking that we going back to them low prices years. They didn't know President Trump was running a con on it. We going back to them low prices year. So I'm saying VP Harris, they don't know you at all. They don't know what you finna do. They know you the vice president, but that's all they know. You talking about coming up and stepping up and running the country. So I got a mic in your hand and I say, what will you do different than this? See, this how it goes. If I was running your campaign, this is how I would do it for them, y'all. Because I'm a practical type person. I would say Kamala. I have a nickname for her. I probably call her like KM. That's my baby. KM, my baby. So I'm talking about Kamala Harris. I'm calling her KM. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. See, I'd be like, KM. Like, so I'm giving the interview for you. I say, hey, KM, what would you do different than the guy who forget your feelings? What would you do different than the guy who has prices, who had that same 99-cent cheeseburger, $3.20? What would you do for that guy who got gas higher? What would you do different than that guy who's got immigrants overrunning our cities? What would you do different than that guy who got a 30-some% approval rate? Who running your campaign? KM, baby, we can't. When he asks you, you got a lot different than I do to him. And I do it better than Donald Trump. He a kind. That's how it goes. That I'll be demonstrating just like this for Jasmine Crockett in a closed door session to get it in her mind. I would have that candidate. I would have that girl. She would be an unstoppable force because she got all the talent. She got all the characteristics. She got all the qualities. And she's absolutely gorgeous. She's got everything you need to be a complete superstar. Politician and everything, a Barack Obama star. She's got all the characteristics. She just, she's kind of new at politics and she only 44. You see what I'm saying? So, she building that record. She doing a good job, though. You know what I'm saying? A couple of things, like I said, author a bill. She could author a bill or two, you know what I'm saying? Get a little paperwork, under her belt. Legislatively. But I'm saying yeah, man, you just have it. They wouldn't let VP Harris, she wasn't doing Fox News. They wouldn't let VP Harris go on Fox. I promise you. Go back and check the live streams. She went on Fox a week or so after Ghost said because I'm just wondering why she ain't on Fox. VP Harris wrote the book about Joe Rogan, so I ain't going to really speak on that because, she spoke on that already. That situation with Joe Rogan. But she should have done, you need Joe Rogan. I mean, it's a lot of different little things. You say, go, she do Joe Rogan, she might not have won. Nah, she might not have won. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the scheduling. I was scared, it's candidates, they always, Jasmine, she working right now, so she can't be 7 days a week on the campaign trail. But what I'm saying, it's even with VP Harris, it's with 107 days, it's right after the convention, and I'm not hating on no candidate and stuff, but I'm saying they taking days off and stuff, not hating, no hating at all. What I'm saying, the way I would run my campaign, that's what I'm saying. Not hating on VP Harris, Jasmine. What I'm saying, I would go hard at the beginning. Just the way I would do it. I noticed that in advertising or in broadcasting, say you had an event. I used to throw events when I was in my 20s or whatever. So I knew some radio DJs, some dudes worked at the radio and advertising, you know what I'm saying, on K-Love and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, Sirius FM network, you know what I'm saying, so affiliates, you know what I'm saying, so I'm talking to dude and so if your show is on the 21st and today is on the 3rd, so he just gonna run 20 ads on the week. From the 3rd to the 10th, your show on the 21st. The 3rd to the 10th, he gonna run like 20 ads. He just gonna be telling people, oh, you got a show coming up on the 21st. It's the spot in the B on the 21st. He just, but then come from the 10th to the 17th. Now, you 4 days from 11 to 4 days out from the event, he gonna run 50 ads. Like he got a charter every so many minutes he gonna be saying that on the radio. And then the last 4 days before the event, he gonna blast it 100 ads. Bam! Like every time you turn on the radio, Greg, they gonna hear. I'm telling you, I sat down with the executives, radio stations, Gulfport, Colin Lorraine Road, country stations. I had songs played on the radio. I had live events, 2 of them with 94.5. So I'm saying, like, if I was running a campaign right after that convention, she would have hit the ground running. We ain't taking no. Like how they run 100 commercials in the end. I'm gonna run 100 commercials in the beginning. To me, break, like my break gonna be like April. Well, no, cause I'm gonna go dumb hard in April. I'm gonna hit all in April and May. I'm gonna hit all 254 counties in Texas in April and May. I'm gonna get that bus and raising money, and I'm gonna go to all 254 counties in Texas, raising money and talking to the voters. You don't got to spend money on no campaign rallies or nothing unless you get invited. But you could let them know, reach out to I need to sign up volunteers to all 200. And then like after about June or July, that'll be the downtime. That'll be the time I'll let her, like your summer, y'all probably not in Congress as much. Like that'll be the time where you just like, you just a rock star kind of. Yeah, you won a Democratic primary. You know what I'm saying? You going against Paxton. You know what I'm saying? I'll be doing some extra raising money. I'll be out in L.A. I'll be flying her to Chicago. They got big money donors out there. I'll be flying her up here to NYC. You know what I'm saying? Doing different stuff like that, letting her chill, letting her get her shine on. She is a young woman. She's 44. You don't want to put that much pressure on her. Just like you got LeBron James or Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? You got to rest your star for that time when you need them to perform. But come about August, it's a full court sprint. Care what you got going on in Congress. I'm trying to be the senator. I'm trying to be the first black female senator in the state of Texas. Ghostwriter believe in winning. And I don't care about nothing. You know how many, listen, in the end, look how VP Harris and Joe Biden got along in the end. They ended up bumping heads in the end anyway. And I guarantee you, if her and Tim Walz would have worked, they would have bumped heads too. They all bump heads. That's the part of the business. So her and Josh Shapiro might would have bumped, but I'm saying like they would have presented a much tougher ticket than Tim Walz would have, man. Some people think the VP, they can't judge how much the VP pick mean, but I think the VP pick mean a lot. What y'all think? I mean, I'm just naming a few things, and I don't want y'all to think I'm bashing VP here, so I'm not going to go over a list. But I'm saying y'all could laugh at that Jasmine for Texas. I'm going to be able to judge things done in the campaign that I gave out a list of how I would have ran that campaign. And I'm saying that list that I gave out, y'all go back, watch Jasmine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if those things was done, that's a winning campaign, I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about, y'all. Donnie says, NC and Tennessee, you mean red states? And while spends $4 billion annually on homeless, their problems worsen every year. Because they're not spending the money right, Donnie. We talked about that. In Ohio, you could buy a house for 60 to 100K easily. The issue is New York and Cali. No, the issue is New York and Cali, but you think New York and Cali the only issue. Donnie, look up the median home price in South Carolina. Look up the median home price in Florida. Look up the median home price in Texas. I'll give you red states. You know what I'm saying? You say Ohio a pretty big state. You probably could get a house that's pretty cheap. But I mean, you go red state, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, yeah, you could do that. But I'm saying, like, look up the median house in Colorado or Utah red state, or Wyoming. Wyoming might be kind of cheap. I need to go to Wyoming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all laughing because that's the speed right there. You get like you probably could get like a apartment for about 600. Real talk. I'm talking about like Mountain View. But Wyoming is right north of Colorado. So Colorado is where I was going. So I'm right in the right area, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I mean, it all depends on where you want to. If you want to go to a beach, I'm saying I don't see how. If you going to a beach, I don't see like you go to Florida, or if you didn't want to spend that much money, or wanted to be closer to more cities, more urban areas, then you go to Texas. That's how I see it. Like if you make some money, if you got that bread, like I wouldn't go to Cali to go to live. I said the tax the rich tour. That's not, you see what I'm saying? Look, so I did a tour. I started in Tennessee. I went through Chicago. Y'all weren't saying nothing about me living in Chicago. I guess I didn't stay there long enough. The price of living in Michigan, the cost of living in Michigan is excellent. I'm saying the same stuff in New York, I would pay $40 for. Let me not lie, $25 for. In Michigan, I would pay about $10 for it. I'm saying I use it all the time. Half the money I spend on certain things I use in New York City, I would spend half the money in Michigan. I stayed in Michigan, Pennsylvania. That's when the cost of living I seen, and then Connecticut is just like here. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting to exit. You know what I'm saying? I never envisioned myself staying in New York City or in the New York area. I never envisioned that. It is very expensive to live. It's gorgeous, though. I show you all the time. I take y'all to New York City. I need to take you back to New York City. See what I'm saying? Since I'm so close, you know, certain issues and situations where I don't be riding. Like, but, you know, when we get back to it, I need to take you back to New York City. Definitely. But I'm saying, like, you know, tax the rich is about me just, like I said, when the time comes, I'm going to just jet set. Like, I ain't going to have no cameras on or nothing. I'm going to just music on, chilling, relaxed, and I'm going to from New York to Colorado. And then I got business to handle. And then, like, that's what I said. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might not even drive when I do the Tax the Rich tour. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might take the Amtrak. You know what I'm saying? Ride the Amtrak up Highway 1, bro, the Pacific Ocean. It's just like, I might rent a car. It's just, you know what I'm saying? If you riding up a beach, but like, I hope to do that like by May. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect to start like recording. I'll probably do one more vlog for springtime, probably about March. And I don't know where I'm going to do it at. I might go to a waterfall or something. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate the snow being, y'all see the snow? The snow being gone. But I'm saying, like, I don't anticipate, like, starting doing, like, Tax the Rich 1, Tax the Rich too, like doing a video every week. I was doing a vlog every single week during that tour. I don't anticipate that start to about May. You know what I'm saying? Like when I get to Colorado, like I'll start recording like I'm doing a video. But like if it's the Lord's will, I'm thinking right, that'll be around Aprilish. You see what I'm saying? That's like 30 days, one video. But like when you talking about like I'm doing like stops, like I'm all the way in California, like I'm saying that'll probably be like May or June, and that'll only be for like a couple of months, and then I'll be back in Colorado. So I never like it. Like I definitely not living in New York. Definitely like not living in California. Excuse me. I'm talking about 45 years old. Never been to New York City. I've been to New York City probably more times than the average person or the average millionaire from Mississippi. I can almost guarantee you I've been to New York City more than the average millionaire from Mississippi. I could take you all the way down to the lower Manhattan, to Staten Island. I could I could bring you all the way back up lower Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? Skating through Harlem. Bro, that BMW, bro, done skated through Harlem and downtown Square so many times. Over 10, 15 times. Easy. Fall off in the Bronx, bro. I just wake up on a Sunday morning, bro. I'm skating around the Bronx. Go check out the content. I can't count the days I've done that. I've never been to Cali, so I want to have that experience. I'm saying I'm a traveler. I love traveling. Been all over the United States. Miami, 1,000 times. Tennessee, 2,000 times. North Carolina, 1,800 times. You feel me? Texas, I lived in Texas for 2 years. You see what I'm saying? I've been all over. I've been to Colorado a good 4 times, 3, 4, 5 times. I lost count a lot of times, probably more than 3, about 4 or 5 times. Different occasions, different years. And I'm from Mississippi. See what I'm saying? I never been to Cali. When I leave Colorado, I'm not doing no tours. I'm not going to Vegas. Just like I didn't go to Philly. Just like I didn't go to DC. I've been to DC before. Just like I didn't go to Boston. I'm not going to make it. I can tell you that right now. So, just like I ain't make it to them cities over here, I'm not going to make it to Vegas. I might make it to Salt Lake City. Might. But I ain't going to make it to Vegas, bro. It's going to be a pass-through. I know what that is if I stop. I'm not stopping. You feel what I'm saying? I'm blazing. I went to Cleveland. I just blazed through. I stopped in the city, but I blazed through. I'm not stopping. You feel me? Because I'm going to Cali if I'm going to spend that time there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned, bro, you got to understand. You talking about how many, I drove 10,000. Bro, I bought this car and had 70,000 miles on it. Real talk. I put 18,000 miles on this car in 7 months. 18,000. You feel that? So, like, all that driving and stuff, you gotta understand, like, it come a point, like, you cut that driving down. Like, I'm when I go out west, I'm chilled out, bro. Like, for real, I'm gonna go inside. Like, real talk, that's why I stay outside doing that California stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm on the beach. Bringing y'all that green turquoise water and them waterfalls and them mountains on the beach in Cali. Oh, yeah, we all the way outside. I'm talking about outside. You know, and then you know how expensive it is. So, nah, you ain't going to be spending, I ain't going to be spending all my money on no hotel, like living in no expensive. Nah, we outside. I'm saying we go to Colorado, though, man. We're going to have to break that in. We're going to have to get inside. You feed me, my man. We gonna have to go inside, y'all. You feel me, in Colorado, after that tax the rich stuff over with. Man, Donnie said he could solve homeless teeth. Boy, that boy trying to, hey, y'all, look, I love that though, man. I'm gonna pin that because look, yeah, that's what I want, man. I want y'all to think like that, man. We the new generation, bro. We could solve these problems that our parents couldn't solve. I could solve homelessness without taxing people. It's like I could have what I had an idea for what I call the Good Samaritan tax. But it's not a tax that's required by the government. It's just promoted by the government. And I'll solve homelessness with that Good Samaritan tax. I'm the government. I control everything. I could give benefits to billionaires who give millions of dollars to the homeless because some of them do it. I would just encourage them and reward them for doing it. It's creativity. We could solve the problems that our parents' generation couldn't solve. Donnie, we can. With ideas like you think like that. Yeah, we can't. The only people who could change the world are the people who are crazy enough to think that it's possible that they could do it. You feel me, Donnie? You feel me? Should LA deem tiny house illegal structure and destroy them? LA deem tiny houses. I love tiny houses, man. Look, I'm gonna buy me a tiny house. I know I am. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy one in Colorado though. Look, man, I was gonna get like a little RV. It was brand new, man. You know what I'm saying? It had one bedroom in it. It was pretty straight though. It was tight though. But I had got approved for it and everything, but I decided not to buy it though, man. I don't have a trailer hitch on this BMW. It was too big for this BMW. What I'm saying, when I get to Colorado and whenever I settle down in a spot, you know what I'm saying, I could get a car. I could trade this car out and get a car that I could tow that BMW with. I mean, tow that BMW, tow that. I told my mom the other day I was thinking about a Jeep. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get a Jeep, I'm saying a tiny house is an option. You could get a tiny house for like 15 racks. That RV brand new was 13 racks. You see what I'm saying? So the tiny house, I just put it. All I need is the piece of land. And you talking about Colorado? They got land everywhere. You just gotta know the state. And I'm saying that give me a little piece of land in Colorado. I'm saying even like so, if I get 40 racks the end of this year, and say I go back to Mississippi, I'll just buy a little spot in Mississippi like that. Buy a tiny house in Mississippi. So when I'm in Mississippi, the tiny house in Colorado, I'll put it on Airbnb it, or I'll put it on what you call it, Vibo or what, whichever one the cheapest route that I'll do it. I'll make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Look, if I'm a single man, I'm not trying to buy no $500,000 house that I'll live in for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? You know how I'm out here right now. What if I had a tiny house in Pennsylvania? You have 5 of them. They 15,000. Listen, if I'm about the kind of dude I am, if I'm gonna buy a house for $100,000, I buy 5 tiny houses for 75,000. You feel me? And I'm saying I could get a good $200 a night off of each one of them, and all I stay in is one. And that 25,000 extra you spent on that house, I'll use it to advertise one of the 4 tiny houses that I'm not living in. So you know it's not gonna be rented. If I got 5 on the spreader, I have one in Michigan, in Portage, Michigan. Bro, I fall off in Portage for like 3 months while I'm making money off the other 4 tiny houses. You see what I'm saying? I probably have one some up here in New England, and then I'll fall down south to Mississippi. I gotta have one in Mississippi. You know, I have one in Texas, and then I have one out west in Colorado. That's 5 tiny houses. And like, so if I'm staying, if I want to go to the mountains, I'm gonna go to Colorado. I want to go to the beach, I'm gonna go to Mississippi. I want to go to the to the city, I'm gonna go to Houston. Oh, I want to go up north, I'm gonna go up here to New England, the East Coast. And then when I just fall back, man, I'm gonna fall back in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Only problem you got to settle is the property. But I'm saying you could work something out, bro. You just get them tiny houses 15 racks. The property is the whole problem. But if you know what you're doing and you making money off of it, you could do like timeshare them tiny houses. You can make some money off of it. You ain't even gotta make no money off of it. I'm saying if I had 2 of them, I'd be straight. I need 2 houses. And I'm saying unless I'm married, I'm not trying to buy no $250,000 house, because that's what I imagine. If we don't get a $250,000 house, I know I got some homeboys, they saying $80,000 house. Say I get $100,000 house, just be modest. So if I got $100,000 house, I'm not gonna get that unless I got a female. It's not happening. I see these dudes, he stay in a 4-bedroom house and he's single. What? You having a sausage party? That's crazy. I'm 45 years old. First of all, I ain't got no roommates. I ain't staying with nobody. That's why I ain't in Mississippi or Texas right now. That's first of all, I ain't staying with nobody. Number 2, like, you got nothing but dudes. I don't care. I wouldn't stay with no 3 girls. I wouldn't stay I ain't gonna live like that. I'm either gonna be single or I'm gonna have a female. That female, when I'm married or I'm about to get married, I'm in that state. I notice the girl I'm finna marry, then yeah, hop in this Range Rover and this Land Rover Sport. I'm giving y'all promotion because yeah, big ghost. I looked at one the other day, about 13,000, and it's got a trailer hitch on it. So mama, I ain't gonna get that Jeep. I'm gonna give me a Range Rover Sport. You feel me? I'm gonna get a Range, baby. You know what I'm saying? A Land Rover Sport. You know what I'm saying? So when I get that Land Rover, that's my next vehicle. I'm already letting y'all know that after this BMW, probably within this year, 2026, when I get a check, I'm going to get me a Range Rover. So when I get that Range Rover, you know what I'm saying, that Land Rover Sport, you know what I'm saying? Well, I forgot what I was saying. You feel me? I'm saying I know I need to have, I know I'm going to have a spot in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? After I get this legal stuff done and when I'm able to pay cash money, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to, you can laugh, trailer, whatever you want to say. I'm a single man. I'm saying and I'm not trying to just be sit like in the house in Mississippi. Like you got to think about what I do. I Legal Wars Live. I'm trying to move around like lawsuits. That's why I took the journey in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So if you want me like saying I'm every day of the week, 7 days of the week, 365 days of the year at this one spot in Mississippi, Colorado, Wyoming, wherever, you know what I'm saying? It's gotta be a girl there with me. If not, you know what I'm saying, I'ma just get like a little bachelor pad, a comfortable, super comfortable, small little bachelor pad for cheap that I ain't paying nothing for. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to pay cash for it. All I'm gonna pay is $100, $200 a month for the land. If I don't have the cash to pay for the land, then I'll just pay cash for the tiny house and then just just finance the land, $200 a month. I'm out the door. All I need is insurance. Everything paid for. All you gotta do is get it hooked up. I'm saying even if it's 300 to 500 square feet, I'm saying I'm a single man. I'm gonna just be comfortable. Everything modern, just like this BMW, completely comfortable. You spend the money, get it real nice, stay for real cheap. And if I need keep it clean, if I need to rent it out, I'm gonna rent it out. It might be when I go to Colorado. So I know I'll stay in the South because I ain't staying in that snow. And then when it get hot in Mississippi, I'm gonna be in Colorado or be in Michigan. That's what it's facts. For me to be like, and even so, that's two different living places that you have. That's equity, because you're gonna sell it for about 25, 30. I'm gonna try to sell it for 30, depending on the deal I get on the land. So I'm saying I could sell one of them for 30. Say to sell the one from Mississippi. I done met me a girl. I'm about 49. I sell the one in Mississippi, get $30,000. That's a down payment. We gonna buy a house off a GI Bill because Big Pete himself let me get that military upgrade. Not a GI Bill, but whatever, the VA loan. So say at 49, I buy a house. I sell one of them. $30,000. That's a down payment for a house. I'm not gonna be living in a house, a 4-bedroom house, settled down, and I'm single. You're gonna be single for eternity. You'll never get married. I know a bunch of dudes did that. They singled and they went and bought a house. They got fat and lazy. Ghosts, I ain't in no house. I'm city to city. I'm seeing people. I'm bumping shoulders, rubbing shoulders. Even though I stay to myself, if I didn't want to stay to myself, I'm saying I could talk to 1,000,000 more people than you. I could talk to 1,000 people today, real talk. All I got to do is go down to New York to Times Square. I don't care what day it is. You stay down there all day between Times Square and 125th and on Harlem. I'm going to see 1,000 people every day. You feel me? Ride down by Yankee Stadium. I forgot the street in the Bronx. You see all kind of people. It's just I don't really be talking to people or conjugating with people. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I'm out here, man. Like in Colorado, bro, I'm gonna be in the mountains, bro. Come on, man. In the Rockies. You been to the Rockies before? Because I have. What I told y'all earlier, I own a lot of y'all 4 or 5 times, more than 3 times. Bro, I know when I started this channel, the first video I did, I was in Colorado on this channel in 2020. And that wasn't my first time being there. And it wasn't my last time being there. I've been to Colorado at least 4. I know I went like way back in 2012, first time ever. I think I went like in 2020 or 21. I went a couple of times, 3 or 4 times. I was staying in New Mexico almost every weekend, bro. At first, that's what we do, man. What you doing, Ghost? Big Ghost? We going to Colorado. Look, I had in Miss Dorothy's team, I had every single last one of them, bro, wanted to ride to Colorado for the weekend. Everybody was going to Colorado. Bro, I'm talking about, like, this is in 2020 when I started this channel, bro. I still remember, bro. We would ride to Colorado, and then, like, as soon as we got there, so we went and did what we had to do, and then as soon as we left there, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even lie, it was the dispensary. We went straight to the dispensary. After we left the dispensary, bro, we went straight to the woods. It's like 7 o'clock at night, and at that time, it was like getting dark. And I'm saying we out there. That's why when I had a white Acura, I was standing on top of the white Acura with my hands out. Like, I had that picture on my Facebook. It's all over my Facebook. I don't think it's on YouTube or IG. Yeah, man. Look, I got a video under the video tab. It's called King of the Beach, man. Or not King of the Beach, King of Travel. And that video got a lot of spots. I was all over the Southwest though. Austin, Dallas. Like I'm telling you, like if you see me pull up in a city, it's not the first time I've been there. I'm gonna go to St. Louis. It's not the first on the way going to Colorado. It's not the first time I've been to St. Louis. You know it ain't the first time I've been anywhere in Illinois. If I have to go through Illinois, it's not the first time I've been through Iowa, Nebraska. It's not the first time I've been. If I passed through Wisconsin and Minnesota, it's not the first time I've been there. See what I'm saying? But I hadn't been to Cali. That's why I gotta go. Because I've been everywhere else more than once. I hadn't been to New York City. That's why I came here. If you're not a traveler, you wouldn't understand that. But if you've been everywhere but two places, the two places that everybody go. I'm hearing everybody, oh, we went to New York City. We went to New York City. I see a girl I had a crush on, and she posted in New York City. And I guess I ain't never been before. What? I guess y'all say it's, oh, he ain't never done nothing before in his life. And then I've been at more places than you have. I could promise you. I stayed in the state of Kansas for 30 days. How many how many people in this live stream could stay there? You stayed in the state of Kansas. Of all states, I wasn't in the military either. When I was in the military, I did a considerable amount of traveling. I had 3 duty stations. I should have had like 5, but I got out early. That's why I need Pete Hegseth help on that discharge. But yeah, I was I was stationed. I did my AIT in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I did my basic training. No, I'm sorry. I did my basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I did my AIT at Fort Lee, Virginia, and my duty station was Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I was supposed to get stationed in Ramstein, Germany, or one of them places in Germany. That would have been my 4th duty station, and my 5th duty station would have been in Fort Bragg again. And I would have got out them 4 years, but I was stupid, though. That's something else. I need some forgiveness on that. Guys, that's 3 hours. Donnie says there are programs like that today, state to state. Just because there's a new grant, it won't make more housing available. Just build more housing, Donnie. Build more housing, Donnie. Build more houses. Donnie, say it with me. Build more. Jasmine Crockett policy initiative. We're going to build. When I become senator, I'm going to write a bill to say that the American government is going to build more houses. 3 million more houses nationwide, with a good percentage of those new houses in the state of Texas. Build more houses. Well, Donnie, this is what I'm saying. If it's a $300,000 house, but what I'm saying is, look, so the government right now, they have like they have where I'm from, it's like what kind of loan is that? Where it's like a rural development. They used to have a loan where you have a 0 down payment if you got a house in a rural area in Mississippi. Now, I don't know which part of the government, I'm not sure about it. That's what I'm saying. I just have the ideas. Jasmine is a congressperson. VP Harris was a senator. They know how legislation works. I have no clue. I know how to write a lawsuit. This ain't nothing like a lawsuit. I know how they move bills through. Like, I know that kind of stuff. But so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to sit down with the person who knows how to write policy, and I'm going to give them ideas, and we're going to together write a bill. So what I'm saying in the legislation, Donnie, I love it because you a policy driven person. I love that. And the legislation, what I'm saying is, if you give them a $25,000 tax credit, and if they go to like one of them rural places and get $100,000 house, and you put $25,000 down on $100,000 house, why you gotta get them in the $300,000 house, Donnie? And they can't afford it. They're gonna buy a house they can afford. If you can afford a two, no, you're not giving them the 10%. You're giving them a $25,000 tax credit, Donnie. That's gonna be for the man who has a family, young kids who only make 60 or 70,000 a year. His wife don't work. He go to church. He a Trump supporter. He can't afford a house. He could barely afford rent. They struggling. I talk to people up here in New York. They struggling. These young people want to buy houses like their parents. They don't have to get up here. Yeah, you'll pay $200,000 for a little house up here. You can get a little house for about $200,000. You just gonna have to suffer. It's your first house. But I'm saying $25,000 is over the 10%. If you in the South, for people, take that 25,000, move down south. Get you 100. You could get the same house that's 2 times bigger than the 200,000 in Georgia, Louisiana, Tennessee, North Carolina. I moved to North Carolina. It's a little bit more expensive than maybe Mississippi. Move to Mississippi. I'll buy a house in Mississippi in Biloxi past Christian. I'll do that anyway. $100,000, you get a decent house. And you giving me $25,000, so shoot, put $25,000 on $100,000 house that I didn't even have to put a down payment on, because I'm a work something out. I'm a get one of them programs. They already got some stuff out there. That $25,000 to do some miracles. It'll put me in the house tomorrow. You're talking about credit cards. Shoot, you pay them credit cards off and I get in the house within 30 days. Money talk, Donnie. You give me $25,000 with my credit. I'll pay all them credit cards all the way off. My credit score be a 700 something, almost 800. And I'll take that $25,000 and I'll go buy me $100,000 house, and the conversation over. That mortgage won't be that much either. I'll buy $8,000 house. I put the whole $25,000 down. I'll take an extra $5,000 and give me a jacuzzi. An extra $8,000, get it installed, jacuzzi installed. Boy, yeah, feel me? I make that house so comfortable. I had neon lights all the way through that thing, boy. I would be like a bachelor pad. That's what I'm saying, because that's how I'm a single man, so I'm going to buy the house as a bachelor pad. If you gave me $25,000, then of course I'm not going to buy a tiny house. I'm going to buy a house, but it ain't going to be no 4-bedroom house that I'm waiting for a wife. I'm not going to do that. Well, I'm going to wait till I meet the girl to buy that kind of house. The house I come to, the girl gonna come, want to be like, nah, you gotta hit the door. You can't even get through the door. You feel me? It's gonna be comfortable for me. Uno mas. You feel me? Mi casa. No estás, you casa. Hey, mi casa, mi casa. Su casa, su casa. You feel me? You feel me? That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like, you give somebody $25,000, I don't care who it is, that unless it's Elon. President Trump trying to give Elon $25,000. He don't need it. Oh, he creates the wealth. He's going to continue to create the wealth, whether you give him a tax break or not. That's why I don't understand. He's going to continue to create the wealth, whether you give him a tax break or not. It don't make no sense. The Republicans been duping the people like that for a long time, though. They've been telling the people, oh, he gives a tax break so we got to give him $1 trillion. What? We gotta give him $8 million a day because he creates the wealth. And I love Elon to death. I love him. He know that. Tesla. Always will. Because of circumstances and situations. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, it's our politics. We need to change our politics, bro. If I did a face-to-face interview with Elon, and I'm gonna do it before it's over with, I'm gonna have Elon whenever he leave that interview, the cameras off, and after we finish chopping it up, two great minds. I'm gonna have Elon coming out that interview saying tax the rich, because I'm gonna show it how it's gonna make him more money. If you tax the rich, he gonna get richer. 3 hours and 13 minutes. I'm telling you, that's why y'all want Ghostwriter to keep talking. Because you're going to say, I'm going to hear something get profound. I'm telling you, if you set up all the models and you tax the rich with my tax plan, the Elon just going to get richer than he already is. Somebody said it in the live stream the other day. So Elon getting richer and the American government getting richer. And I keep President Trump's tariffs. I'm saying it'll be money falling from everywhere. They'll never see no economy like this. I'll be cutting taxes on people, but they got to create jobs. So those Jeff Bezos going to want the tax cuts, so he going to have to hold off on the AI and create 100,000 jobs to get those tax cuts. You don't get tax cuts without creating jobs. I'm not giving you this extra money to go buy a yacht or let it sit in your account or make you the world's second trillionaire behind Elon. I'm not doing that. You get the tax cut, you got to create jobs. It's got to be stipulations on them tax cuts. I'll be cutting taxes like a Republican, just doing it in a different way. And I'll be taxing the rich. So you make under $100,000 a year, you don't need to pay no taxes at all, zero. You got a family make under 100,000, zero. I'll be creative with getting the money. We talked about this, how Texas did the toll roads. So I'm saying United States own a third of the land in America. The United States government owns a third of the land in America. I don't care what kind of regulations. I'll spend my time and I'll break that down. And what I'll do is I'll end up like doing something or making money with that land. I said this on live streams way back when. There's a park in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, where there's the like where it's a federal like whatever U.S. park. You know what I'm saying? A national park, and they have like little tiny houses or cottages that you could rent out. Man, shoot. It's gorgeous out there too. I used to go out there almost every day. Half the content from Mississippi from out there. I either go there or the beach. Man, I'm saying like, boy, please. Bro, I have so many cottages out there all over that land. All that beautiful land America got, like Yellowstone National Park, all those national parks they got. Boy, them places, I'll start build. It'll be like little tiny houses and little cottages everywhere out there. And I'll start promoting it. I'll hire businesses to promote it. American government will make money. I'll make money off them national parks. My government would be, y'all would think it'd be socialized, but it's not socialized. It would be completely free market. But I would redistribute the wealth just like the Republicans did. But the Republicans talking about the Democrats are socialists and they redistribute the wealth, but they took the money from the poor and gave it to the rich. I'm going to just do it the opposite. If you put the money how you going to build a house from the top up? You building an economy and you building it from the top up. So they take from the foundation and put it on the top. So they sitting here with a top heavy structure that's about to tip over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stimulate the economy from the bottom. Listen, You know how many people out going with my $25,000 tax break? You know how many people who gonna go out there and buy houses? If I give you a $50,000 tax break to start a business, you know how many people, Donnie, gonna go out there and start businesses? What I'm saying wrong? People, healthcare getting more expensive, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. We might talk about healthcare or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, come on, y'all. Somebody, Donnie said on his moon base, yeah, man, I'm gonna get Elon to shout tax the rich. If you tax the rich enough to give a living wage, the homeless people shoplifting food will be housed and buying food. It will stimulate the economy, man. Hey, y'all, that's my time, man. It's Big Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been in here kicking it with y'all for 3 hours and 19 minutes, man. You know what I'm saying? This week, man, I got a couple cases, man, like a few cases specifically in Connecticut, but I got to check on some cases elsewhere too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, really ain't got too much legal work going on right now, but that is the time I spend, though, you know what I'm saying, after those 3 hours or 2 or 3 hours, depending, that I stream with y'all, you know what I'm saying, until about, you know what I'm saying, lunch or so. But, you know, I do it different, you know, if I'm not actually going to prepare a legal document. But, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to spend a few hours, like, you know what I'm saying, attending to some legal situations that I got, you know, emails, phone calls, whatever I got to do, go grab a document from Staples or something like that. But I do have some cases, some spankings that I owe people that I promised y'all in February. So, you know what I'm saying? Tell my opponents, man, y'all don't get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know Ghost Rider going to stand all 10 on what he told you. So if I told you got a spanking coming with this lawsuit, that paper's coming. Just chill out, though. I'm just letting some stuff set up, man. I don't want to get too big, have too much stuff at too much time, man. It's slow motion on here. Slow and steady win the race, bro. But it's coming. I can assure you that. It's Big Ghost Rider. Legal wars, baby. Hey, look, I'm a justice fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? But the God of justice. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Christ believer. I believe that Jesus is king. Christ is king. I believe that Jesus suffered, he bled, and he died on the cross for my sins. You know what I'm saying? I believe that the blood that Jesus shed on the cross is payment for my sins. If I, or if you, and I did, in August of 2018, I went to a quiet room and I prayed and I asked Jesus to forgive me of my sins. I told him I repented for my sins. There were sins that I had in mind in particular, sins that I committed that were against the holy blood of Christ, and sins that were in the Bible that said if you were committing them habitually, you were in danger of hellfire. And I was committing them habitually. And I repented for them sins, turned from them. You know what I'm saying? I asked God to forgive me of my sins, to save my soul from hell. And I believe he saved me. You know what I'm saying? It was his grace. He had mercy on me by dying on the cross and shedding his blood. He was a sacrifice for my sins. You know what I'm saying? It's his grace, his sacrifice, and my faith. 2,000 years ago, a man named Jesus Christ, he walked this earth. 2,000 years ago. What was the purpose for his life, Ghost? Was to be a sacrifice for me. He paid my bill. He gave me a pardon. He was the Son of God, man. This faith. You got to believe it. I said this before, y'all. It's just like birth, Donnie. If you was a Martian and you wasn't from Earth, and I ask you, how did human beings get here? Say from where y'all from, human beings just zap up. Or well, the Martians, they're not humans if they're say Martians just zap into existence, fully grown. And I say, well, a man like whatever with a woman and the baby grows inside her stomach. What? A human grows inside another human like a plant or a seed growing in the ground in the plant. What? That you wouldn't believe that. That's what I'm saying. But because we see it and we know it and we have our science, then we believe it. There's a lot of things with God that's like that. Miracles. It's faith. You gotta believe. Either you believe in God or you don't. That simple. But whatever else you believe, please come shoot it by me, because I can promise you one thing for certain and two things for sure. Where my boy Ball Striker at? You feel me? One thing for certain and two things for sure. Whatever you believe, it ain't going to make more sense than God and the blood of Jesus. I'm telling you. For 40 years. That's a very long time, bro. I've lived this life. I've had life experiences. I've studied every different other kind of religion. I know what they believe. I know what they teach. I know their laws, everything. The atheists, the people who don't believe, I study like philosophers, like, you know what I'm saying? Who Aristotle, you know what I'm saying? Different people, man. And just, I'm telling you, Christ is King. That's the truth. That's what I believe. I don't try to force it onto you, but I'm gonna tell you that because people need to accept Jesus Christ as their savior to go to heaven. Because when you die, when you leave this earth, we all will die. Some people just think you're gonna cease to exist, like a one cell amoeba or something. You know what I'm saying? Or like a lion. When a lion die, he don't have a soul. The Bible talk about the lion having a spirit. But I'm saying you're talking about an unconscious human. These are conscious. We are conscious beings. That's what our consciousness is. Your soul. Your consciousness is your soul. Your self-awareness is your soul. What I'm saying, that is your spirit. That is of God, the breath of God. That will live without the body. When you die, your consciousness will live in another realm. You could say it sounds like a Mother Goose story all you want to. That's facts. I'm trying to tell you from a different way. When you die, your consciousness will leave your body and it will exist in a completely different place that you've never been to before. Just like when you were born and when you first, maybe when some of y'all remember when y'all were 3 years old, that's when your first consciousness, when you plugged into your consciousness, your soul, when you was 3 years old. I'm saying, but you going into this next world, you're going to be fully grown. You're going to be fully consciousness. And the Bible says heaven or hell. Your consciousness will exist without your body. Your body cannot exist without consciousness. That's like zombie. That's like some zombie stuff. You got zombies. People walking around zombies. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no soul, no consciousness. Just eat the people, eat the people. You know what I'm saying? That's science fiction stuff. I'm talking about your consciousness, who you are, your soul. My name is Ghost Rider. See, a lion he can't, you know, that part of you that is aware when, you know, you go to sleep. I had some dreams before, they vivid dreams. I'll never forget them. I'm talking about, I had these dreams in 2009. Color dreams, vivid. I was in drug and alcohol in the pen. Yeah, I'm honest. I had vivid dreams. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have those kind of dreams, man, like Your consciousness gonna exist just like you when your consciousness is when your body is like somebody people say all kind of things. They got all kind of scientific. Oh, it's just the snaps of the neurons and the protons and the hey. Hey, people got all kind of stuff that they say for the reasons, and I don't get into all of that, none of that. All I'm telling you is I believe that book, the Bible, I believe that Bible. Every word that proceeded out the mouth of God. I love y'all, man. It's Monday. I did 3.5 hours on a Monday with you guys, man. You know what I'm saying, guys? We'll be live again tomorrow morning at 6:45 a.m. Eastern. You know, I come on a little bit early, anytime after 6:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m. Central, and the Mountain Time 4:30 a.m. See, when I go out west, go to the Mountain Time, you know what I'm saying? At least I'll be going live at like 8 o'clock a.m. Central. You know what I'm saying? For that Tax the Rich tour, I'll be live at either 8 or 9 a.m. Central. Think about that. Most of my viewers probably Central. So 8 or 9 a.m. Central, I'll be live. That'll be so tight, man. Can't wait. But man, yeah, that's my time. We live in the morning. 6:45 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Eastern time, you know what I'm saying, man? We're gonna be doing the thing, man. Like, I can't wait to get off this vertical live feed. I've been on this thing for about a year, going on a year and a half. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in transition, and I wasn't trying to be a YouTuber to start it off. I was just doing the politics, doing the law. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to do what I can when I can before the election time for Shiggity. You know what I'm saying? That Tax the Rich tour, man, I want to make it be as good as I can. I promise you guys the merch, I'll have it out by April. Look for everything that I promise y'all to start coming into fruition in April, man. In the meantime, man, like this is the conclusion of Jasmine for Texas, episode number 7, episode number 8 next Monday. But we are live on Tuesday, on Thursday, and on Friday at 6:45 a.m. Eastern. Y'all tell me what we talking about tomorrow. That's what I'll do. You know what I'm saying? Got a few people in the live stream. NT Claus, I got Green Gordon. Look, NT Claus, why you ain't a moderator? I thought you was a moderator. I don't know what happened to that. But look, NT Claus, I got Green Gordon, I got Donnie. Y'all tell me what y'all want to talk about tomorrow, man. Take a few seconds, man, before we get out of here. What? Oh, I did earlier? Oh, my bad, NT Claus. My bad. I was like, what? I'm seeing his name and it's not blue. And I was like, what? Y'all, what we going to talk about tomorrow? Nah, we weren't meant to be alone. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I'm not going to rush out there and get marry the right girl. I'm not in a position in my life to get married too, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, when that time come, it's gonna come. God gonna do what he gonna do. But until then, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just try to obey scripture and live the life that I'm supposed to. NT Claus, you welcome. Green says, no, we aren't. I have been homebound and snowed in since August. Y'all, I'm gonna find a good topic for us to talk about tomorrow. 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Nah, NT Claus, you didn't say nothing disagreeable. If y'all do say something disagreeable, all y'all who are moderators, like all different kind of party, it's just that we respectful with each other. So say what I welcome people who disagree with me. I just ask them to be respectful. So y'all, that being said, man, that's my time. 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning. Your boy Big Ghostwriter. I love every last one of y'all. The time I spend with y'all every single day, man.
I'll see y'all in the morning, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all stay warm, and I'm out.